What will the future bring? Up here, we ask a different question. What does tomorrow need? At Michigan Technological University, we design, invent, code, and create. Where humanity intersects technology, where passion aligns with purpose. You'll find us with our sleeves rolled up and grit under our fingernails. We make medical breakthroughs. We operate robots to help screen for Alzheimer's, find new sources of energy and automation, and delve deep underwater to monitor our Great Lakes. No one said it would be easy, but at Michigan Tech, we don't expect it to be. We know the future will need answers, and the future starts now. Tomorrow needs Michigan Tech. Tomorrow needs you.
My experience here has been great. I have a very strong connection to other students. Everyone makes an effort to help each other.
I'm getting the opportunity to meet people, getting the opportunity to build relationships, not only with faculty, but also with students. The small class sizes at P&W allow a lot of collaboration. We see people forming study groups all the time.
Being involved is the #1 thing I'm always going to advocate to other students. A lot of it is perspective and hearing other people's opinions. You all are different, but each one is bringing something to the table.
One of the most important things, I think, is being able to build a relationship with your professors. Almost every single professor I've had, I'm on a first-name basis.
I have been able to go to them for advice and actually know that they're supporting me and on my side and want the best for me.
By building that relationship with faculty, I was able to get involved with research, which was really important for my career path. You get to see all of the practical applications of the things that you're learning. It's one thing to read about a procedure or a method or an idea in a book versus actually going into the lab and physically doing it and seeing the results of it.
The education that we're earning is active learning, so it prepares us to do the job that we're going to do when we graduate. I feel that I will carry forward the memories that I had while at P&W. I'll remember the feeling of being here, the feeling that I was a part of a family.
I'm part of something. I'm a part of something bigger. I'm a part of Purdue Northwest.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. First day, first year, you're diving in, head first. Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Want to build something? Great. Learn to melt metal with fire, start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Care for eyes? Do it all here. And here too, side by side with the pros. But you've got to go forward fast. Why? No time to explain. Okay, fine. We'll explain. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. See this guy? That's Woodbridge Ferris. He founded this place with purpose to help everyone move forward. Big Rapids? No, bigger. How about the whole state, the country, the world? Forward, not backwards, not sideways, forward. So get moving. Move your ideas, move others' minds too. This is your future, your opportunity. So take it and move all of us forward.
What will the future bring? Up here, we ask a different question. What does tomorrow need? At Michigan Technological University, we design, invent, code, and create. Where humanity intersects technology, where passion aligns with purpose. You'll find us with our sleeves rolled up and grit under our fingernails. We make medical breakthroughs. We operate robots to help screen for Alzheimer's, find new sources of energy and automation, and delve deep underwater to monitor our.
All right, welcome everyone. We're here for the GLIAC inaugural match today. We've got the League of Legends round 1. We're going to kick that off here. We have Grand Valley State University versus Davenport University. I'm joined by my host here, McElroy.
How's it going?
I'm Spirit of a Dove. Nice to meet you all. So after League of Legends round 1, a little bit later in the day will be the League of Legends semifinals, and then we also have the Smash Bros final round and the Rocket League final round. So there's a lot of events going on today, and we're very excited for them. It's going to be a great day full of events. Yep, we're very excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, around 5 or 6 p.m. we're going to have the league finals as well. And
yeah, the grand final for league will be much later in the day. We're looking at 9:30 p.m. So yeah, we'll keep you all updated on what the itinerary looks like as we go throughout the day. So
absolutely. And yeah, and who was playing this first game?
So this first game for League of Legends, yep, we have Grand Valley versus Davenport. I'm very excited to see this game.
Mm-hmm.
And then seed 1 for the semifinals is Purdue Northwest, and we also have Michigan Tech versus Ferris State. So we'll kind of see who makes it through all these brackets, and how many points, because the whole event is it's not just League of Legends, it's not just Rocket League, it's all three of these where all the schools are gaining points, so it's really important that each school really performs for each of their games, to see who takes it all.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's not just like, you do super well in League of Legends and all of a sudden you're all set.
Yep, exactly.
So we got to see if, they can do well in everything.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. So while we kind of wait here, we've got Grand Valley State versus Davenport. They're loading up in League of Legends right now. We're still in the spectator lobby. So, yep, for people that are familiar with League, they're going to be playing on the current patch as well. One champion that is banned is Aurelion Sol. So
Really?
Nobody can play Aurelion Sol. I'm not sure if that's because of, current changes to him, because I was kind of looking it over trying to find out, but yeah, he's having some kind of kit changes, and it looks pretty crazy.
Yeah,
so.
I know he's been an all right mid laner for a while, but at the same time kind of niche.
Right.
So it's kind of cool to see that they're reworking him a little bit. I guess there are bugs with A Soul right now, which is why he's banned from this current tournament.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, he is kind of a weird champ. Yeah, he can, kind of go over all these walls, and I'm not sure, like I said, what the bugs are, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure everyone was aware that that champ is off the table, so.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I did notice that there were some other bans, as far as, I know certain skins can't be played, which, for whatever reason, it must be, related to bugs or...
Yeah, and some are just annoying, so, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, there's a couple on there. I think it's funny that Draven is banned. I want to know why. I want to know why that skin is banned.
Yeah, it must be because he has like a deceptive hitbox or something,
Yeah. Something like a big. He has like a much larger like head or something like that. So yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, and interesting enough, I know earlier we were talking about Rise.
Yeah.
Banned runes water walking Rise. I don't know why I want to bring that up.
Yeah, I know. I did see that too. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, so no water walking. I'm not sure how much of a buff that really is, but I guess when it's Rise, you never really know. So.
Yep. Looks like we're getting the draft phase started.
Yeah.
Shortly. Let's see. Yeah, anything else?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, that's for sure. Like, I'm ready to talk about this game. Like, I just can't wait to see, what these teams are going to draft. I think it'll be interesting to see exactly, how serious these teams are with their draft. I think that's a big part of it, and we've talked about that a lot, even while we're, playing ourselves, that this draft matters, so.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes the game can be made or broken during the drafting phase.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it is important that they take it seriously and that they're making the correct decisions,
Yes. Yeah, it's before you even get onto the Rift, it matters. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know we've played games where it's like, somebody makes the wrong pick and you kind of already know that, hey, this is, we don't really know what the win condition is now.
Right, yeah. And that's what's going to be interesting. As soon as these first champs start coming out, then it's like, things are firing off. So here we go. We've got it. We've got it going. We're in the draft.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see who makes the first pick.
Yep.
Either Davenport or GVSU.
Yeah. I'm even though like, I'm more of a high-rated player, this really is one of my weaker phases, is just understanding how complex the draft can get. So first bans coming out from Davenport, we have Maokai. I was telling you about Jungle Maokai. I don't know what it is. He's also a bit of a flex pick, so you can bring him down support if you want,
Interesting.
And so, yeah, very interesting.
We're also seeing Victor ban, Swain ban, and Mordekaiser ban.
Yep, absolutely. Interesting bans, looking pretty standard. It's kind of a lot of these mids and support flex picks. I think it's important to get some of these early flex bans out of the way, because picking a flexible champion first in your draft can help a lot, because you're not locked into Maokai jungle or support. You can just pick him and then decide once you get there. You know what I'm saying? So.
Right. Yep, and we're seeing Ornn and Varus ban.
Yep.
First pick for Davenport, Kled.
Okay. Yep, so that's definitely going to be Kled top, I would expect. Yep, pretty standard. Yeah, Kled, he's quite strong. Excited to see, what they can do with that.
Misfortune, Alistar. Must be maybe
Yeah.
their bot lane.
Yep. Definitely thinking Grand Valley's locked in their bot lane. So we've got Misfortune, Alistar. We're probably going to see a lot of early roaming from Alistar. If support is more familiar with the play style of Alistar, he can really roam around early and really create some of these more nuanced situations for the other laners. But, I mean, they may just stick to a standard laning phase. We'll sort of see what happens.
Yeah, well, they're looking at Nautilus and Nocturne for Davenport. And a Nunu pick.
It's very
for
interesting. I'm excited to see what's up with this Nocturne pick. I would assume it could be a Nocturne mid, but you know, it's probably Nocturne jungle. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with this pick. Nocturne is pretty rare to pull out in fives. You know, just because his ult, you know, like having that darkness and everything, like, you know, that's kind of something easy. That's you can communicate like what's happening. So Nocturne, much more of a solo queue pick, I would say, but you know, maybe this will get flexed around somewhere.
Looking at a Vex ban for GVSU and Sejuani.
Yep, Vex and Sejuani bans. Yeah, Vex. Yeah, she's been kind of a interesting pick in the mid. Sometimes people have been taking her support. It's not bad. Yeah, it can be something to consider.
Silas ban for GVSU.
Malphite.
And Malphite.
Yeah.
For Davenport. Looks like they're banning a lot of AP champs too.
Yep. AP is generally king these days. Not too many ADCs or AD casters that really come through. So,
Urgot.
Yep.
Urgot for Grand Valley.
You know what I'm really curious about is, Davenport hasn't showed their bot lane yet, minus the Nautilus. But I'm curious to see. We're hovering Sivir. Yep, I want to see what this AD carry pick's going to be.
Yeah, paired with Nautilus. What do you think we would see?
That's definitely a strong lane. So yep, they have locked in Sivir Nautilus. So Sivir's wave clear is really unmatched. It is very, very hard to end games versus Sivir. She can really draw into the late game, you know, much more than you would want. And I'm really liking this pick from Davenport because they're bringing in their wave clear, and they've got Anivia for scaling and the late game. I wish there was a little bit more late game on Davenport's side, but it's still a solid draft. You know, like I said, they're really trying to keep their waves out, and you know that's going to be hard for Grand Valley to really finish this off. You know. They're going to really have to play into their early dive with Alistar, and not sure how I feel about this Zoe pick mid. I'm still curious to see because, like I said, we've still got some kind of weird picks on Davenport's side. I think until, you know, we actually get into game and see, like, where all these champs are going. You know, because is this a Nivea support, Nautilus jungle? You know, I'm not exactly sure right now. So
True. But it looks like, yeah, it looks like we're going to be looking at kind of a tanky game too.
Yeah, it's going to be a long haul, and you know, I think that's smart from Davenport's side to try to bring this into the long haul. I think when you pick a lot of the early game picks like you have on Grand Valley's side, you know, most games don't end too early. So I think, you know, especially in fives, you know, you will find that mid and late game teams tend to do quite well. You know, it's really got to be something strong coming out early, you know, as far as like skill and just everything to end games early.
Decision making.
Yeah. And it could just very well be too, you know, what kind of objectives that these teams pick up, you know, like if you get some early Rift Heralds, then, you know, like I said, if you've got a Rift Herald pushing in with the Alistar, that's rough, you know.
Right.
That can end your game very quickly.
Yes. So you're kind of expecting the Alistar to roam a lot.
I'm hoping so. You know, that's what I'm hoping to see. If we do see a standard laning phase, you know, Nautilus, I would assume it's Nautilus support. You know, Nautilus versus Alistar. It's kind of like that tank off, you know. I'd probably favor the Nautilus, just because there's a lot more CC potential. There's kind of a stronger just champ overall, in my opinion. You know, I tend to prefer, like, you know, a Nautilus, you know, supporting me. So
yeah, well, he does have probably some of the most CC out of any champ just built into his kit.
Yeah,
Because almost every single one of his abilities has CC, even his passive for his auto attack.
yes, exactly. Yeah.
And especially against, you know, a Misfortune who really doesn't have much mobility or much utility to defend herself.
Very true. Yeah, that's a very good point. Now, and see, this is what's interesting is Sivir's spell shield's a little bit different. They've been kind of, you know, reworking it over time, and this is where I've really fallen off with Sivir, is that now her spell shield restores health instead of mana, and it just doesn't quite hit the same because, you know, you've got you know, mana problems. You know, when you're not restoring mana on Sivir and you're trying to keep your waves out. Like I said, it's rough.
Not a lot of sustainability in lane.
Yeah, but I mean, Sivir still is safe, you know. So if Alistar does try to go in, then we'll see, you know, that spell shield come out. And that's the other thing interesting about Sivir is she has that skill cap, you know, or that skill ceiling, you know, where you can really push her to different levels based on how you use that spell shield. So yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. And now we can kind of see, you know, spectators, you know, viewers can't exactly see it, but yep, it is going to be a Nocturne jungle and a Nunu jungle. So, yep, that's kind of like what we were expecting. So, not too familiar, like, I'd say like my off role is jungle, but, you know, like I do that more of as a fill thing or as like a decision maker. So I'm curious to see how exactly these, you know, that everyone plays here in the jungle.
Yeah, I would imagine with a new jungle, we're going to be looking at a very early gank.
Yes.
Probably level 1 or level 2.
Yeah, and I know that you are much more familiar with Nunu than I am. So
yeah, well, and you have to compare that to Nocturne, who, as we know, doesn't really scale until level 6.
Right.
So,
yes.
You know, we might not be looking at very much action from Nocturne compared to Nunu early on.
Yes. Yeah, Nocturne, not the best ganks before 6. So he's probably going to be in this jungle for a while. Now, this is what is interesting is, so they are playing on the current patch, and as far as I'm aware, this change is live, is they've really tried to dissuade counter jungling. And so there's XP buffs when you jungle on your own side. You can still counter jungle if you want, but it's just going to be the same XP. But if you stick to your own side, then you're going to get those XP buffs, you know. So that's something to weigh out. And that's what I'm saying is, you know, champs like Nunu, they kind of do fall into that counter jungle category, because Nunu can just come over to your blue buff, something like that, chomp it, smite, and he's gone, you know, like, you know. So I'm curious to see if Nunu wants to do some counter jungling this game. Yeah.
Right. Well, and you have to imagine, too, that if Nunu is ganking early on and Nocturne's farming, Nocturne might, you know, have otherwise been encouraged to counter jungle.
Right.
But if there's not much incentive,
yeah,
you know.
Yeah, we'll see some different decisions. Yeah.
And then, we're looking at Kled and Urgot. I mean, again, it seems like Grand Valley is looking more towards those early game plays, because Urgot is one of the craziest level 1 champs.
Really?
He has the ability to, you know, I don't know so much with the matchup with Kled, but his level 1 fight, if he goes with his E, has a lot of potential to, you know, get a good fight, put Kled behind.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, this is why I'm glad I'm doing this with you, because you really do know a lot more about like kind of these top side, bruiser matches, much more of that, bottom side, analysis. But yeah, Kled and Urgot, that's going to be interesting. I find Kled to be very strong.
He has a lot of team utility too with his ult.
Yep. He can really provide a lot to his team. Whereas Urgot, I'm thinking more like this. He's gonna split push, these types of things.
Yeah, I guess it depends on what runes he's taking, and because sometimes Urgot will go Hull Breaker.
Gotcha. Yep. All right. Yep. So we are getting into game here. Hopefully that 3-minute spectator delay is nothing. We're ready. Here we go. We're coming out. Both teams are ready.
Welcome to Summoner's
Looks like both
Rift.
junglers are starting topside.
Yep. Some early warding coming out from Alistar.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
I am curious to see, some of the early game
A summoner
decisions,
has
especially with
disconnected.
wards. We do have a pause.
Technical difficulties, unfortunately.
But yeah, as I was saying, I'm really curious to see, how some of these early game wards play out, because getting even the most early bit of information can really make a difference for your jungler, and I think that's what, a lot of solo queue players don't tend to consider, especially with their ward early on, is, your jungler has a lot riding on his first buff, his first buff, second buff, it really, really makes a difference early on. And, to have that proper coverage, as we were kind of seeing, before the pause, you can kind of see both teams are like lined up on the map. They're really having this like diagonal defense.
Right.
And this is something that you would never see in solo queue. I wish I would see this out of solo queue, but it just doesn't happen. You've got, teams late and all sorts of things. So,
Right.
So like I said, just providing that early support to your jungler makes a huge difference. But yeah, something I just caught here too is Sivir is starting Cull to start.
Oh, okay.
Now this is something that I would do as kind of a cheesy play. I think it was like last season, kind of more in the preseason. I was starting Cull a lot, just because I was so focused on just farming, CSing, and, just trading that Cull right away for a sword or, whatever, like down the line once you cash it out. But as I kind of climbed ranks and, had more time to think about it, I'm not sure how I feel about this Cull start.
Okay.
Yeah, I would almost say it's probably better to start a sword and pots or sword and fillable. It's just pretty rare to see Cull, unless there's some changes that I kind of missed. But as far as I'm aware, Cull is a pretty rough start. So
Yeah, we also see Kled started Ignite.
Minions have
Yep.
spawned.
absolutely good call. We've got standard teleport coming from Urgot. Anivia does have teleport in the mid. So,
Okay.
yep. And we can start using these players' names now, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So, we've got Zeus, Sivir. Very nice to discuss these plays here.
Going on mid.
Starting with red. So, they're matched up, in the jungle. Pretty standard starts. you know, and like I said, it's, you know, Nunu's not really going to be able to, you know, get off any strong early games, which is kind of weird because, you know, I would have almost expected on this side, just to get that early gank off with the snow. Especially knowing that Nocturne doesn't have the best start, you know,
Yes.
as far as early ganks go.
Yeah, it just looks like standard clears from the junglers right now.
The taunting from Alistar, quite typical. Yeah. Lots of cowbells coming into your ear, I'm sure.
Abby Stigma is saying more cowbell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like overall Red is, or Grand Valley's really pushed in.
Yeah. A little bit of early engagements, some trades. Top. Oh, missed the cannon top. Oh, that's rough.
Good trade from Nivea, from Acquiescence.
We've got a snowball coming in. So Nunu's showing mid, takes a turret hit.
Oh no. Yeah, he did a lot of damage right there. For misplaced snowball.
Yeah. That was definitely a rough trade for Nunu. I mean, there's a lot of sustain coming from Nunu, so it's not the biggest, you know, problem in the world. But again, Nunu showing even before he has this red. You know, so Nocturne's really getting this time to scale up right now. He's level 4. You know, we're really seeing, like I said, just Nocturne sticking to his guns and you know, just keeping his level advantage, and this is really going to help.
I think Nunu might shove that again. Oh, it was a decent attempt at a gank.
Yep, so Nocturne did show top. That's, you know, that's fine. Nocturne cleared his whole side, just kind of made himself known top. That's fine. Not really changing too much of the pace of the game here. I really respect the level of play we're seeing here. You know, that's
Yep. That was an interesting fight.
yeah, huge trades top. That's getting quite close for Urgot. Quite close.
Yeah, he's very low in mana too.
Yep, and Cled's got his passive. You know, he's really trying to, you know, keep this ready. He may dive, but here comes the gank.
That was a good snowball.
Nunu. Okay, Jacob lives. He's fine. I was worried. I was worried.
If Bach wasn't so low, he probably could have turned it around.
Yes. I think because Urgot was so low on mana, they decided not to you know, commit. We can see Nocturne, he's clearing Dragon. I didn't catch what the first Dragon was, so I'm not sure what the Dragon is that he's picking up right now, but he's definitely putting some early pressure on it. He's even got Nivea here to help. Oh, so yeah, that's the arcane one.
Okay.
Yeah. Hex Tech,
yeah, Hex
sorry.
Tech Dragon.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a little bit of an old school player here, so. Yeah. Hex Tech. Yeah, so that's a little bit of attack speed. That's fine. That's good for Sivir. She definitely does well with attack speed. You know, she definitely stacks a lot of damage. You know, rather than like any sort of spell casting. I'm curious to see if they go like an Essence Reaver or.
Oh, look at this gank.
Oh, we got 4 down here. Okay, that's first blood for Grand Valley.
Yeah, that was a huge roam by Stepfather.
Yes. Yep, and this is something you really have to watch out, you know, with Zoe. You know, with that flexibility in her kit, with the summoner spells, it's really not a big deal for Zoe to roam around. And really, there should have been more communication, you know, especially with Anivia, you know, kind of at that Dragon and Nocturne. They should have seen this game coming on Davenport's side, but, you know, they did get the Hex Tech. It's kind of that trade in a sense, you know, we'll trade First Blood, you know, for that early Dragon stacking. But yeah, I mean, First Blood, 7 minutes, that's very sophisticated levels of play that we're seeing here. Both teams are playing very patient. You know, they have a lot riding here. They know that this is important. You know, they're here to represent.
Definitely see Nocturne hit level 6. Maybe we'll see a little bit more jungle action on his side. And that's Mango Lover on Nocturne. Yep. Urgot's not going down without a fight.
Okay, yep. That's very interesting. Wow, we've got a lot of different things going on. We've got mid-fight. Davenport just picked up a kill top. That was like a bunch of action all at once. I mean, this is starting to almost turn into a bit of a blur, even though it's 1-to-1. You know, like, yeah, we are seeing a lot of quick decision making now. Very, very fast gameplay here coming.
It does seem like Davenport was kind of biding their time until they got that level 6 Nocturne.
Yep, and yeah, that was what was interesting, is they were able to pull that off. Yeah, this is awesome. Yep. Love to see it. Great gameplay from both sides.
We have Cloud Drake spawning next.
Yep, and you know, I'm not sure how either team really feels about Cloud. You know, I guess Davenport would probably prefer to pick it up. If anything, you know, it's kind of unfortunate that they weren't able to get a Cloud Soul, because that would have really been something to contest.
Right, movement speed.
Yeah, I think the soul of this map will definitely tell us a lot. Yep, got some early bot lane fights going on.
Yep, we're seeing a lot of suns being used. Silver might get away.
Yep, wow. Zeus lives.
Somehow Zeus lived.
Yeah, very little HP there, even through the Alistar Ignite. And yeah, we did see really standard laning out of Alistar, and oh jeez, Stepfather picking up another kill here. Oh my gosh, there is just fights going on all around the map right now. Okay, yep, so let's recap, because a lot just happened. Okay,
yes.
So as Zoe, Stepfather on Zoe, picks up a kill mid on Anivia, we have Bach dying again top to this Kled, Jacob on Kled. This is starting to become a problem top lane, because when Kled starts to get ahead, he's going to start split pushing. And when he's got this split push going on, you know, where is Urgot going from here? You know,
right.
What sort of you know, presence is he going to really have in these team fights? It's really putting a lot of the pressure on Stepfather to carry this right now. And with this, you know, like I said, Davenport's really playing into their wave clear, and they're doing it well. They're doing this well because...
We saw Nautilus got caught out. Agent P.
Grand Valley picking up another kill, but meanwhile...
They did take the dragon.
Yeah.
For that trade. And now Nocturne got caught out as well.
Yep, so Grand Valley, they're really playing towards their kills. You know, they're really trying to get their gold on Stepfather, get it on Zoe, you know, and that's fine. I think that's, you know, they're playing their early game well. You know, they're getting this early advantage. I'm just really curious to see how this game develops through top. And here's another game.
That was a good ball.
time, but it's really rough to see this Ally Star starting to play into these early roams, but they're answering back. Davenport's answering back. And yep, and
Yeah.
this is like I said.
Clyde got the shutdown on Jacob got the shutdown on Stepfather, so
Yep. They're funneling their money into Kled, and he can just keep splitting, and when he needs to roam, that's fine. You know, he can just run from wherever he needs to. Same with Nocturne. You know, they really have a lot of this.
oh, we see Rift Herald top.
Yeah, we're really seeing a lot of this map presence coming from Davenport, and you know, that's like really what they're playing their strengths to right now.
Grand Valley answering top.
Not able to connect that game, but they're still committed. They're still trying to make something happen. But
Kled is very strong right now.
yes, and we've already got Davenport with reinforcements. This is looking rough.
Turret plating will fall soon.
Yeah, and yeah, it seems like Davenport is playing very much into the objectives.
Yep. They're playing into their objectives. They're playing in the top side, and you know they even have this 2K gold lead right now, even with you know Stepfather 4-1. You know, Davenport's doing a much better job at you know getting gold to all members of the team here. You know. And what's interesting is that Anivia, with this death passive, has really bought a lot of time for Davenport. You know, just having that egg, just you know, being able to sit on it for a little while, that really does delay the game. You know, again, like I said, really playing into the late game here for Davenport.
Yeah, especially with Kled scaling as much as he does already. Yep. There's really not much going on the map right now. I mean, there might be a mid gank.
Still trying to get these ganks down. That's a lot of damage. I think Acquiescence is definitely going down here. Yeah. Stepfather picking up that kill as well.
Rift Herald has been captured by Davenport. That's their second Rift Herald.
So did they really just pick up the second one?
It looked like it.
I think it might still be spawning here in a little bit, but they are definitely getting some pressure in that area. You know, we've got Pink Ward top, you know, and definitely they've got the Rift and another ward kind of like in that river. So they're thinking ahead on this Rift Herald, I'm thinking. And oh, so we didn't talk about this. Infernal. So it is Infernal Soul. You know, that's a rough one because I feel like both teams want this. You know, it's pretty hard to not want Infernal. It's just all this damage. You know, it's probably one of the best souls. You know, it's a lot of contestment goes into this. It's a very competitive Drake. It's not one of those ones you can just give up, you know. Darkness coming out. This is a massive team fight.
Okay, shut down on Toria. Got the Nocturne shut down.
Yep. Kills coming down both sides.
And it's all over the Infernal Drake.
Yeah. And you know, Anivia's using her ult. She's trying to really they're still fighting. They're still fighting.
Yeah, Alistair, huge CC. Unfortunately, the stick didn't make it out.
This is really risky team fights by both sides, but you have to keep in mind they want this Drake. You know, neither team wants to give up this Drake.
Yeah, it's looking like another stepfather versus, well, Jacob and Acquiescence decided to just give up the Drake.
Yeah, they're letting Nunu come in here, but they're still pretty low. They're not. Davenport's not giving this up easy. It's gonna be hard. You got Nunu and Smite, but all this terrain control coming out from Anivia. They're okay. So
Grand Valley's took the Drake.
yep. So Grand Valley, they're able to secure the Inferno. We're pretty much just going 1-for-1 here. I mean, this is why this is kind of a harder game to really cast here. I'm not gonna lie, because each team kind of keeps going 1-for-1 here.
Yes.
You know, as one team gets a kill, the next team's answering. So quite funny. This is definitely not a one-sided game. This could really go anywhere at this point, and we're 18 minutes in. I have no idea, you know, where this is on.
Oh, that was a huge Nautilus ult, and yeah, it turned the tide, but they did.
Zeus, I mean, really well played on Sivir. He's got the Kraken Slayer, you know.
And that's absolutely necessary against this tank team.
Yes, yes. Very well played. He's, you know, and I respect it because he's got Ghost. You know, Zeus has Ghost right now, so he's really utilizing the move speed. You know, not much of the sustain. You know, and that's a smart play because, like we're talking about with Sivir, restoring health. You know, it's almost kind of like still having that summoner spell feel, but you know, hey, I'll take Ghost and get a little bit more move speed.
Absolutely.
And yeah,
get out of or get into these situations.
Yes, very well played.
Yep, and there's Davenport with the Rift Herald down mid. Let's see how much they get with it. Might get his power. Not quite.
Yep, and still a lot of gold funneled on the Stepfather. 6-1-4. You know, stacking with, you know, the ring here, Dark Seal. Looking to get that Mage Eyes. You know, stack a bunch of AP, just be this really bursty. You know, that's where Zoe becomes a problem when, you know, you're just getting one shot. That's rough.
And that's a very real possibility, especially if Davenport isn't careful with their shutdown. Because as we see, Kled has a decent amount of a bounty.
Right.
And if that happens to fall on Stepfather, you know.
Right. Then we're looking at even more one-shot potential. It is the Eclipse pickup from Kled, top lane. So lots of damage. Lots of damage coming out from Kled.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Seeing another bot lane power for Davenport.
Yep, so, and this is really interesting because Davenport, they've got this, you know, solid gold lead. They've got all the outer turrets. Mid turrets already looking pretty low. They kind of invested that Rift Herald. And no turrets from Grand Valley.
First power dive on the block, and Mango Lover gets it.
Yep, this is a lot of pressure right now from Davenport. I mean, they're really pushing this in.
Yeah, they have a lot of control over the map right now. Yeah, that was a lot of damage from Stepfather.
Yeah, these waves, like I said, they're getting really hard to deal with. It's a lot of wave clear coming from Davenport. And I just don't know if Grand Valley really has the answer to that, you know, especially with Zoe. It's not a lot of wave clear. It's more, you know, we're looking at burst, you know, that type of thing. And Misfortune, again, not much wave clear. It's more about this team fight, this burst. It just seems like Grand Valley's really starting to lose the momentum here. So they're really going to have to force some fights into a place that they want to be on the map, you know.
Right.
Maybe make a 30-second decision early, something, a smart investment in that sense, where, hey, let's team fight hard here and see what happens.
Well, we have a team fight breaking on, but isn't there yet?
Oh, she's dope by and Davenport is just really clearing these kills up right now.
And then it looks like they're going to go straight into the Infernal Drake.
Yep, and Zeus, I mean, just, oh, so close. Oh, okay, Acquiescence picks it up, but Zeus just really pumping out damage for his team right now. He's even got the quick blades. And that's very, like, he's going spell casting, you know, he's up there, you know, he's, like I said, playing this very well, putting out damage for his team. He's got the most CS in the game. I mean, this is a very well played Sivir.
Just that wave clear, like it's so hard to get a push going against a Sivir.
Yep. And not only that, you know, you've got the Sivir wave clear, but just in case that all fails, you've still got a Nivea, you know, you've still got a Nivea clearing these waves.
Yes, yeah. Wow.
And while Kled's pushing in these lanes free wherever he wants, you know, he can still, like I said, roam with his ult where he wants. He doesn't need that teleport.
Yeah, and you know, I was like, yeah, where is Jacob? He's not here for the team fight. He just comes in, literally, out of nowhere. So looks like we have a lot of Grand Valley vision around Baron. They probably know that Davenport's thinking about it. Are we gonna see a Baron fight?
We very well could. Yep.
If they get a pick here. But
yep, and they're really focusing on Nunu here. They want to get this jungler down. If they get this jungler down, it's a lot of pressure, but
that's a big ult. Shut down.
Grand Valley, they're really turning this fight around. You know, and Nunu was really able to zone off that engage and buy time for, you know, Toria's MF ult. Well played by Grand Valley. I think it's a little greedy to go for Baron here. I would think they should be much more focused on maybe getting this top turret.
Or Bach was able to teleport in. They're going to finish up the rest of these kills.
Yeah.
I guess it worked out.
Yep. A little bit of kiting from Zeus, but not quite enough. It's a lot of burst, and Baron is going over to Grand Valley with objective bounty.
Yeah, and so they should be able to. I mean, they have a lot of waves pushing right now.
Yeah, Grand Valley really turned this around. That Nunu ult, that changed the game. As soon as I saw that ult, it was a very well placed, you know, ultimate. On Davenport's side, I think they should have respected the power of that, but I think they were just, you know, really looking at those kills.
Ooh, another kill.
This is some weird decision making from Davenport, you know,
especially since they were down in Nivea and Sivir.
To really go into this Baron buff, Baron pushing team, you know, you really gotta have all the reinforcements there before, you know, you make decisions to dive so heavily like that.
Yeah, you can see, you know, the gold difference isn't so big anymore because objective bounties are gone. Just with that one play, that one Baron play.
Yep. And like I said, Davenport, they were so focused on, you know, trying to secure Nunu, and you know, I was with them. I was like, yeah, that's the right thing, but once that ult had dropped, I was like, back off, you know, because this is too much.
Yeah.
So really, Davenport bit off more than they.
Yeah, I think maybe they saw the Nunu flash and maybe thought it was possible, but they didn't know the rest of the team was right there.
Right.
And then yeah, we have Infernal Soul possibly in the next half.
Yeah, so we'll probably see another kind of bigger team fight here coming for that Infernal Soul, and Davenport, they've got the pressure, you know, they can still if I was in Davenport's side, I would say we need to push in a lane. Like, push in top, get some pressure going, make Grand Valley choose between a turret and this Infernal. If we have to give up another Infernal, that's fine. We're buying time anyway. We've got the late game. So we'll see what kind of decisions come out.
Well, what do you think about Grand Valley stacking Infernal Drakes?
I think it's fine just because there's still 3 more to go. You know, there's still a lot of time. But with this Baron push, maybe we're not seeing as much time as we would hope.
Yeah, they are sieging pretty hard.
And Valley, they're getting a little intensive here. They did take mid inhib, but
It looks like a bit Stigma Flash.
Yep, now this is where it's going for Davenport.
They might have overstayed their welcome. But
It's going both ways. There's so much happening.
yes.
Zeus, triple kill.
That's that
And-
Kraken Slayer.
Yes, and, you know, so much move speed coming out of Davenport. You know, even though they lost their mid inhib, they still answered.
Well, and it looks like Davenport's going to do the same thing. They're answering right back.
Now, this is questionable
Yeah.
because you got that Infernal Soul waiting for you, but they want to answer. They want to answer this mid inhib.
Well, they know that they had a few seconds left on the and now they're backing off.
Yep.
It looks like they're going for the Infernal Drake. I don't know if I would. We're
Yep.
seeing a teleport from Anivia.
Yep. It's really coming down to this.
And
I mean,
there's-
this is going to blow up.
Bach is teleporting in.
Oh my gosh, so much damage coming from
Yes.
Stepfather. I mean,
Jacob got deleted.
yes, that's a Rabadon's, you know, Zoe coming in. And again, this is what I'm saying. Davenport is not playing to their strength here, you know, because they know Grand Valley has the team fight. So they need to play into these waves. They're not getting this outer pressure. And
Yes, top and bot have been basically frozen.
yeah,
For a long time. Yeah, and now Davenport's basically just forced to wave clear.
and this is where it's starting to get now harder for me to see because I feel like Davenport really fumbled at that Baron fight not too long ago.
Agent P got caught out.
Yeah, things are definitely starting to fall apart here a little bit.
You know, the top side tower officially gone. There's still a huge... Davenport's got a decent push mid, thanks to Sivir, thanks to Zeus. But it looks like we're probably going to be looking at another Baron fight.
Yeah, we are getting, pings. Manga Lover, he wants Baron.
Yep, there's a lot of vision. Well, a decent amount of vision.
Yeah. And I think that's smart. I think that Davenport should be playing away from the Dragon. If they need to give Dragon to Grand Valley, that's fine. You know, trade that off. You know, what do you have to lose? Especially if you're going to take Nexus. You know what I'm saying? Like, I say give it up.
Yep. I mean, Jacob's trying to split push a little bit, but yeah, there's a fight breaking out mid here.
Yep, a little bit of that bot lane pressure.
Bach maybe waiting for a bush jump.
Yep. It's riding a lot on these teams.
And Davenport has a lot of waves pushed out. There's a lot of pressure on their lanes, on Grand Valley's lanes.
Yep, and this is what I like to see from Davenport. Get this pressure,
Take the end.
yep, and use the move speed to get out. Run.
That was a good wall. That was a really good wall.
There we go. See, look at this. These are the types of rotations we want to see. You know, if they need to peel off this team fight, that's fine. you know, assess it and see what's happening.
Wow, okay. So it's a little a trade.
Ooh.
Nasty Urgot ult. There's nothing worse than thinking you got away and then you just get yanked right back in.
Oh, yeah.
But that was a good play. I mean, they got mid inhib, they got bot inhib tower.
Yep.
The only problem is it looks like the Grand Valley might be setting up for Baron.
Yep. Yep. And it makes sense with Manga Lover down, you know. Not seeing a full commitment, though, from Grand Valley. They're really spread here. And maybe it's the wave clear problems. I mean, Zoe's just now recalling from all of this. Sold off the Dark Seal, not trying to stack Magi anymore. Just going for that raw damage. But keep an eye out because we still have some. We have 4 stopwatches waiting to happen.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Looks like we're just getting vision. Looks like Davenport's going for it.
Yeah, Davenport's putting a lot of pressure on this Baron. I can't quite see the health bar.
Yeah, it was. I think it was smart to give up.
Yep. Yep. And a little bit of tanking. It's fine. It's very and we got this.
And you know the whole time this is going on, there's also an Infernal Drake about to spawn.
Yep. And Zoe's back clearing mid. I would be putting pressure. I think they're engaging. Davenport's engaging for the full team fight.
They saw Steph on the ground.
There's a lot going down.
Fortunately, shut down one.
Yep. And there's these stopwatches. So much damage coming from Zeus.
Yeah.
So much damage. Definitely a win here for Davenport in this team fight.
Yeah, they're just going straight down mid. We even have a teleport.
And this is frightening right now for Grand Valley. They're going to be feeling a lot of pressure. They have Kled Nocturne, but Davenport's low. You know, they don't want to. They're pulling back. Go for the soul. Safe play.
Yes.
We'll fight again.
Very safe play because they know they have at least 10 seconds until anybody spawns.
Yeah.
There's no teleports.
Safe play. Safe play from Davenport. I agree. Yep. I think this was the right play given the circumstances.
Yep, just give the soul. Baron can wait till later. Almost all the waves are pushed out.
Yep. Zeus coming out with so much damage. And even though he gets blown up in these frontline fights, you know, it's fine. He's got the spell shield to buy a little bit of time, really doing the heavy lifting, you know, for all this damage. And meanwhile, you know, you've got Mango Lover diving in the backline, causing havoc. It's, even though Davenport played into their wave clear, they still do have quite a considerable team fight to consider.
Yep, looks like they're centering around Baron again.
Davenport pushing up, trying to create pressure around this Baron. Starting it up again.
Yep, we'll see if they stick with it this time.
But look at this bot lane wave for Davenport.
Yeah.
This is creating pressure. This is hard. The waves are really hard to manage for Grand Valley.
Their inhib's getting smacked right now.
Yep. And this is all Davenport really needs to do, is just keep dancing around this objective. Don't have to make any full commitments. You know, let our minions do some of the work here. But Jacob's pretty caught out here.
Jacobs did get caught out. That was very unfortunate.
Yep.
And now, of course, they're going to go for Baron.
Yep. And what's interesting is they lost that bot lane inhib over that.
Yes.
So
it was a trade, but let's see if it was worth it.
Davenport trying to answer something here. This is getting,
well, They got something. They got a bit.
And Zeus, I mean, this is getting insane. Triple kill for Zeus again. I mean,
Bach and Stepfather making it out alive, just barely.
yeah.
To maybe try to stave off the push with their Baron buff.
About this close for a
Yes.
Penta for Zeus. So even though Grand Valley picks up the Baron, they still lose mid and hip again. It's more pressure, you know, and Davenport, they have the Infernal, you know, they can use that in their team fight presence. It's just so much damage coming out of Zeus. Now, if we're gonna talk super late lane game, like where we're jumping 40, 50 minutes, I do admit that Sivir does fall off a little bit. Because look at this build from Sivir. You know, really where's the damage? You know, it's all in that Kraken Slayer.
Yeah.
No Infinity Edge, you know, it's just not much crit, you know,
It's really just quick blades.
Yep, it's
Life
really
steal.
about putting out that damage from the back line and letting it go forward with those bouncing blades and or you know whatever the spell is, or the boomerang, you know, or
Yes,
W.
yes, yeah.
And so yeah, to have all that backline damage, yeah, I'm not.
Quick top push by Davenport. Are they going to commit to it? Looks like they are.
Davenport's pushing top. Grand Valley has the Baron to kind of stave this off a little bit. But yeah, we are seeing Infinity Edge from Misfortune. That's a lot more damage, and with ults, you know, her ult does crit, things like that. That's a lot of damage to consider. Not quite as much as Sivir, especially with Sivir's short range. It's kind of, it's really on Sivir to play the skill the best that she can. In this case, Zeus.
Still fighting around this top tower. They might get it. It would be a risk if they committed.
Yep, play it slow. Push in, it's only a couple more hits.
We see Zoe wave clearing. Stepfather on the bot in mid.
Looks like a Guardian Angel pickup for Toria. So she wants to, you know, have a little bit more time in case Nocturne dives. Definitely safe pickup.
Waiting for that top wave to reach them.
Yeah, they've been dancing around this top turret for a little while here.
But there's really not much else they can do.
Yep, and neither team wants to give up any kills one side or the other.
There's a snowball coming in. Oh, we saw a spell shield.
Mango Lover.
Huge wall from Acquiescence.
Yeah.
Just to disengage, get out of there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They knew if they could get the tower, they're going to get it, but they weren't going to give anything up.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Definitely looking into Davenport's minds here. You know, seeing what their decision making is.
And it looks like they're going to fight.
They've
over
got
Elder.
this. They've got this bush.
Bach was able to see that coming from a mile away.
Yep. Grand Valley. They did kind of sniff that one out a little bit. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if they fight over this Elder right here, but...
And you can really see it from Grand Valley's side. They really lack this engage, except for the snowball, and it does catch someone out. Here comes the fights.
Yeah.
A little bit of an interrupt.
Lost connection to the stream, unfortunately.
I'm not exactly sure. We kind of lost the final team fight there. I think it was because okay, here we go.
It was technical difficulties.
Yep. So
wow, and in that time, somehow Davenport turned it around.
yes, and that's insane. You know, Davenport, they really picked up this final team fight I wish we could have seen more of what had happened.
Yeah, well, it looked like Jacob picked up a double kill, which speaks to the longevity of Kled.
Yes. And, you know, I was surprised because Grand Valley had such a great engage. You know, so I'm really curious to see what had happened. Maybe just Grand Valley had bit off a little bit more than they thought, you know?
Yeah, and it looked like even in that fight, Boria used up their Guardian Angel.
Gotcha.
So something must have went awry there.
So, Elder going over to Davenport. So they've got Elder, they've got the Soul, and now they're pinging Baron. Let's see if, you know, see if they come for this.
Yep, well now they know that Bach is wave clearing bot lane. Bach does have teleport, which Davenport might not be aware of. So if they do commit to Baron, it's going to be a full-fledged team fight again.
Love to see it. Oh, and this is Chicken Nugs. Really caught out.
Yes.
This is going to be Baron, I believe, going over to Davenport. Playing by the books here.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Bach might be a little curious, but it's too late.
Yeah. I mean, this is time to end. Davenport, push mid.
Yep.
Let's see it.
The ARAM gameplay.
Yep. Let's see it. They've got all they need right now
Yep, they
to
have
finish this game.
Literally, they have Elder, they have Baron.
Yep.
They know that Chicken Nugs is down for 20 more seconds.
Yep. This is the time. And we've got some dives coming out. Yeah. Zeus really just laying into this damage.
That is an insane amount of damage.
A quadra kill for Zeus at the end here.
Wow.
And this first match going over to Davenport.
Yeah. That was a crazy game of ups and downs.
Yep.
Super close. Trade for trade, nothing was free.
Yup. Yeah, and it was very interesting. Yeah, and kind of looking at the stats there quick, yeah, insane damage from Zeus. 75k plus. I mean,
Yeah.
just insane.
And I guess that Kraken Slayer really did pay off, didn't it?
And like I said, you know, Davenport, they played into their late game exactly like they needed to. Wave cleared out, and like I said, I could really see those weaknesses coming from Grand Valley's draft. You know, playing so much into that early game and not having Alistar roaming. You know,
It seems like that's what you need to kind of do with Alistar, is you need to play other places besides bot lane.
Right, and having all that wave clear was just so much. It really, really played into Davenport's hand.
Well, and it was interesting too how you were talking about if it went to late game, it might have gone back into Grand Valley's favor because Sivir might have fallen off. But they found the perfect opportunities to end it before that happened.
Yes. Yep. And that maybe goes into a little bit of that early, you know, dragon taking from Nocturne. That was really well played jungling. You know, securing those objectives early. And when you secure those objectives early, it gives you more of that time, you know, to make a decision or, you know, kind of leverage off what you need to. And like I said, I kept saying, you know, put that outer pressure on those lanes.
Yes.
Give them a couple dragons, let it slide, you know, and that's what Davenport did.
They were definitely playing much more of the macro game, which sometimes, you know, you definitely have to take that into account.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, those insane fights too. Just insane team fights.
Yeah, I mean, these were full-blown fights. I mean, you know, I've been playing League for as long as I can remember. And, you know, just to see all these fights go down, to rattle off all these spells that these players are casting, you'd have to be a rap god or something for that. So
Yeah, well, and it's like the amount of zoning that both teams had, because Grand Valley had the Nunu ult to zone off their Davenport, but then Davenport was also, they had, Anivia. So, yeah, it was just, it seemed like in the team fights, the teams were kind of, they were able to
zone off.
Yeah, go
like
head to head.
yeah, there was a lot of zoning in these team fights, and a lot of buying time, with Anivia especially having that egg passive, just being able to buy time, wall something off. I mean, we saw so many wall catches that we really didn't even get to call out. Just how many times did we see a Nivea wall come up and someone's caught out?
Either someone's caught out or an opportunity to disengage an unfavorable fight.
Right,
too.
yes. And that really speaks into that terrain control.
Yeah,
So.
which was interesting considering it was Infernal Soul, which, gets rid of terrain.
Right.
Anivia was still able to build terrain around that.
Yeah. Very interesting for sure. Yeah. So I think we're kind of waiting for this next game here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it's best of 3. Kind of. Yep. Best of 3. So that's one win here for Davenport. So yeah, the pressure's on Grand Valley to pick this up.
Yep. And so I guess like hopefully Grand Valley can kind of see more of what Davenport's strategy was, which was, playing into the late game scaling characters.
And I'm curious to see if any strategies get changed, in this game too, because it's very interesting. It's, do you come out with your hand early, or do you kind of save some in your back pocket, because there's kind of that intimidation factor, like, whoa, we just dropped the first game, like we gotta play our cards now, this is the time. So maybe first game you get a little bit experimental, but
yeah. And I hate to say it, but I feel like Alistar is kind of an experimental pick if you're not willing to play Alistar in, the roaming sense.
Right. Yep, it was a little bit experimental on Grand Valley's side to have Alistar, especially versus Naut. Nautilus is just that solid pick, always playing well.
Yeah, I think it worked pretty well being paired Alistar with Nunu, because a good Nunu snowball could lead to, Alistar kind of capitalizing, chaining the CC.
Yeah. Yeah, and, it's tough because we really saw both teams play their hearts out. I'm not even going to lie. Both teams were fighting for their life,
It was a close game.
Yeah, it was close. And back and forth trades, 1 minute Grand Valley's up, the next minute Davenport's up, So it wasn't exactly clear, who was, going to take this one way or the other.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Because, there were times where I was like, Grand Valley is just pushing it down mid. They're taking inhibs.
Yep, they've got Baron. They had that mid inhib.
But, at times perhaps overstaying welcomes.
Yep.
Not taking the right trades. And when I say trades, if a tower's going down, take something else. So maybe they weren't playing to their macro as well as they could have. But yeah, and there was so much damage coming out of Stepfather on Zoe.
Yes, yeah.
So many one-shots happening early on.
Yep. And I feel really bad because, unfortunately, I feel like Bach didn't have the best game. They really put a lot of pressure on him, and they really shut him down early.
Yes.
And that's hard to come back when you're Urgot, and, you got no kills, 4 deaths or something like that. That's tough.
Well, that's kind of what I was saying with, Urgot's early game, is you need to take advantage and try to get an early pick.
Right.
Because then you can try to snowball that into completely just destroying that top lane, becoming a giant Urgot.
Yeah, right, for sure.
And, Urgot does have a lot of team fight potential. With his ult, we saw a giant Urgot ult take. I'm pretty sure it was Alistar. Just, Alistar thought they escaped.
Yep.
The chain pulled them back in.
Yep.
But I feel like that's kind of the decision you have to make with Urgot. Are you going to be a split pusher, or are you going to try to help your team?
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe Bach was kind of caught in between those two roles.
Yeah. And already being down on gold, it makes that decision that much harder. Like, hey, guys, I'm really behind here,
Yeah, and Jacob on Kled had completely dominated top lane so early on.
Yeah.
That it was really hard for Bach to try to come back.
Yeah, and, really thinking back on it too, you can kind of see how not having that early ganking from Nunu and letting Nocturne scale up, that was some of the first ganks that we saw was Nocturne level 6. So that's too much time for Nunu to not be ganking with a red buff, with a snowball. Maybe throw a snowball down mid, maybe throw it down bot. I feel like top would be the last place that I'd want to be, and that's where we saw a lot of chicken nugs jungling was top side.
Yes, well, and maybe if they played on the other side of the map, Nunu might have worked better if they start with red buff.
Gotcha. Yep. So we're gonna kind of take a little break here, have a few commercials for you guys. Yep, and we'll be back soon.
What will the future bring? Up here, we ask a different question. What does tomorrow need? At Michigan Technological University, we design, invent, code, and create. Where humanity intersects technology, where passion aligns with purpose. You'll find us with our sleeves rolled up and grit under our fingernails. We make medical breakthroughs. We operate robots to help screen for Alzheimer's, find new sources of energy and automation, and delve deep underwater to monitor our Great Lakes. No one said it would be easy, but at Michigan Tech, we don't expect it to be. We know the future will need answers, and the future starts now. Tomorrow needs Michigan Tech. Tomorrow needs you.
My experience here has been great. I have a very strong connection to other students. Everyone makes an effort to help each other.
I'm getting the opportunity to meet people, getting the opportunity to build relationships, not only with faculty, but also with students. The small class sizes at P&W allow a lot of collaboration. We see people forming study groups all the time.
Being involved is the #1 thing I'm always going to advocate to other students. A lot of it is perspective and hearing other people's opinions. You all are different, but each one is bringing something to the table.
One of the most important things, I think, is being able to build a relationship with your professors. Almost every single professor I've had, I'm on a first-name basis.
I have been able to go to them for advice and actually know that they're supporting me and on my side and want the best for me.
By building that relationship with faculty, I was able to get involved with research, which was really important for my career path. You get to see all of the practical applications of the things that you're learning. It's one thing to read about a procedure or a method or an idea in a book versus actually going into the lab and physically doing it and seeing the results of it.
The education that we're earning is active learning, so it prepares us to do the job that we're going to do when we graduate. I feel that I will carry forward the memories that I had while at P&W. I'll remember the feeling of being here, the feeling that I was a part of a family.
I'm part of something, I'm a part of something bigger. I'm a part of Purdue Northwest.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. First day, first year, you're diving in, head first. Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Want to build something? Great. Learn to melt metal with fire. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Care for eyes? Do it all here. And here too. Side by side with the pros. But you've got to go forward fast. Why? No time to explain. Okay, fine. We'll explain. Because today is not.
Welcome back, fans and friends. We're here at the GLIAC inaugural day for League of Legends, and we've got Game 2 here of Grand Valley State University versus Davenport University. And Davenport, they picked up the first game. Davenport,
Yes.
they picked up the first game in the best of 3 here. And really, Davenport is showing a lot of strength in their late game. So Grand Valley has a lot to answer here. But just to recap, for any new viewers, we're still kind of on track here for League of Legends Round 1. And we've got semifinals for League of Legends coming up. And we also have Smash Bros. Finals later and the Rocket League finals later. And then that'll be around 5:30 p.m. for Rocket League finals. And then we have 6:30 League of Legends 3rd and 4th place match. And then at 9:30 we'll have the League of Legends finals. Just to recap where we're at in the day. So still early on, seeing some drafting here.
We're looking at a lot of the same bands as last drafting, except they're Grand Valley's on blue this time. So Grand Valley is actually banning Kled, which might be a smart decision considering Jacobs.
Yeah, they don't want to see Kled. They don't want to see Nocturne either.
Right.
It was a lot of dive coming from Davenport. A lot of dive, a lot of wave clear.
Another Silas ban. Yep, still banning Maokai, Swain, and Mordekaiser.
Yep, pretty standard. We were talking, probably not going to see Maokai. Yep, probably going to be off the table.
So we're looking at a Sejuani pick on Grand Valley, and then Varus Victor for Davenport.
Very interesting. So, I was going to tell you about this earlier. I was hoping we would see Varus.
Okay.
I think Varus, he's really in this niche spot almost always. And he's really a consistent champion that shows up across all metas. And I'm not exactly sure why. It's just something about him. I think it's like he's got this % health. He's kind of safe in a sense that he can poke. And he still has a strong ult, almost like an Ashe ultimate, but, able to engage from that range. So.
And we're looking at, for Grand Valley, Jinx running Nautilus again. And then Hovering Thresh for Davenport. Okay, so locked in on Thresh. So we're probably looking at Hook versus Hook.
Yeah.
Nautilus versus Thresh.
Yep. Definitely going to be an interesting bot lane. I'm curious to see where Grand Valley goes with Jinx, because now I'm seeing the opposite. Now I'm seeing Davenport playing more into this early mid game, whereas Grand Valley, if you're picking Jinx, I mean, you've got to be thinking about the late game.
Yes, you're scaling. So looking at an Irelia ban for Davenport. But yeah, it is interesting. They did completely flop on their, flip-flop on their strategies.
Yeah. And I'm so happy to see that Cassante is banned here, because I'm telling you, even though in solo queue he's low on these win rates, I'm confident that he's a good pick.
For fives?
I think for solo and fives.
Okay.
I really think he's strong. I think people just haven't quite seen it yet.
Right.
I think you're going to start seeing Cassante a lot more. And yeah, I'm not surprised to see a ban coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hoping maybe we get to see some gameplay.
Right, that would have been interesting.
But to see the ban, that kind of tells you something else,
Yeah.
you know, that maybe nobody wants to see the gameplay. It's going to be rough.
And then the final 2 bans, we have Rise and Vi.
Okay, yeah. Kind of interesting on the Vi ban.
Mm-hmm.
A little different.
Okay. Zach? So we're seeing Zach on Davenport.
Yeah, Zach jungle. Little different playstyle. I mean, still the dive.
Mm-hmm.
You know, still trying to dive into that backline, but Zach's not going to have as much damage as Nocturne, you know,
Mhm.
for that dive. So,
Hovering J4. That would be dive for dive. Pretty
Yeah.
much, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, J4 definitely more, a lot of that AD burst, depending on what you build.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say it's probably better for J4 to build a little bit more burst, especially when you have Nautilus and Sejuani tanking up that damage.
And then hovering either Kassadin or Syndra. So, okay.
Syndra pick for Grand Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a little different than Zoe. A little more wave clear.
Mm-hmm.
Still that burst, you know, because Stepfather definitely likes to be that carry, likes to have the gold, you know, definitely in his play style, as I've seen before. And, you know, but still, I think this is a safer pick for Grand Valley than Zoe.
And then Davenport finishing out with Camille. So, I'm curious to see if it's... I'm guessing it's probably going to be Sejuani top versus Camille. And then we'll see J4 in the jungle.
Yep, and that is interesting to see kind of a Sejuani flex pick. You know, because I feel like Sejuani could be jungle, could be top, you know, so Sejuani top, yeah.
I mean, it works for the, you know, tanky, very tanky.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, versus Camille, kind of still in that play style for top, you know, where they were kind of rocking Kled before, now they've got Camille.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, Camille has a lot more, I would assume, damage output than Sejuani.
Yeah.
And I wonder about the sustain for a Sejuani top.
Yeah, it's probably a little lacking. I mean, I don't really think either top has quite the sustain.
That's true.
You know, if anything, I'd probably favor Camille in this matchup, but Sejuani is almost too tanky. You know, I'm not sure how many kills Camille will really be able to pick up in this.
That would, and even, I guess like a J4 Sejuani gank is a lot more harder to deal with than a Camille Zac dive. You know?
Yeah, I definitely seeing a stronger draft from Grand Valley this time, at least in the sense of their last one. I see much more team fight potential. I see maybe not enough wave clear for Jinx, but I think it'll be enough, especially with Stepfather on Syndra. You know, they'll keep the waves out, let Jinx scale up, and then, you know, kind of see what happens.
Yes. And I'm kind of curious to see what Victor can do because, you know, Victor, I know at least in the last patch as well, he was a very, very strong mid laner. A lot of damage output.
Yes, Victor is absolutely a problem. Victor, again, one of those champs, kind of shows up in all metas where it's just he's this very solid mid, lots of AP. You know, you don't have to think about where are we going to get magic damage. And maybe that is one critique you could kind of throw at Davenport's side here is, you know, they do kind of have a lot of magic damage. They don't have that much AD. You know, maybe Camille, but if Sejuani, maybe even Jarvan and Naut, they pick up, you know, some magic resist.
Yes.
Where's the damage really going to come from for Davenport? You know, you're really relying on Camille. I mean, so.
Yeah, I guess you're relying on her to single out Jinx or Syndra.
Right.
In a team fight.
Right.
So if she can get to the back line, Jinx probably is going to have a hard time dealing with the Camille.
Right. And, you know, this is something I've kind of seen, again, in, like, metas over time and just different pro player series and world series, and all these things, is one champ that definitely doesn't see a lot of play is Thresh. And you would think, you know, oh, Thresh, you know, he's got all this utility. He's great in solo queue, you know. I love to play him. Like, there's lots of Thresh players. He's fun, you know. But, again, it's just something about Thresh. He's really fallen off over time. And I think it's just because he's kind of an older champion. I feel like, you know, Riot really hasn't given him the love that he needs to kind of keep up with some of these newer champs like Camille, you know. Even Nautilus, he's had a lot of reworks, you know, so.
Yeah, and plus even just as a Thresh support, you know, because I know he can be seen in other roles, but I feel like they're just better picks than Thresh.
Yeah.
For the average player.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm seeing on that weaker side of Davenport's draft is, yeah, I'm definitely a little critical of the Thresh pick.
Well, so how do you think Thresh and Varus will work together?
You know, see, that's the thing is, yeah, Thresh has the Lantern and can kind of save Varus from these trickier situations, especially since Varus has no escape. But, you know, like I said, it's kind of this weird lane, Varus and Thresh. It's not typical. I would definitely see Jinx and Nautilus more often. You know, like, yeah, Jinx and Nautilus don't exactly mesh, but in a weird way they do, just because they're both strong on their own.
And plus, I feel like we're able to see Nautilus protect Jinx.
Yeah.
You know, just because he has so much ability to disengage and engage, obviously, but he can slow down an attacker if he needs to get his Jinx out of there.
All right, so we're kind of getting over that spectator delay, and we're jumping in. Love to see it.
Yeah, and I didn't really... Okay. Yeah, I guess Thresh takes Glacial Augment, right?
Yep, that's pretty standard. Yep. So we're seeing
an invade.
Yeah.
Interesting. Because, yeah, we didn't see that at all in the last game.
Very heavy 5-stack here for Grand Valley.
Yeah.
They're coming in bot. They're trying to make a difference this game.
I mean,
start strong early.
Yeah, unless
with this
Varus
Nautilus.
can get out of there.
No hook connects.
It was worth a shot because if they caught Varus, he was done.
Yeah, you're at least burning Flash.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, well, and Zeus took Ghost and Flash again.
Now, see, this might be a little bit of a mistake because not going to have that same healing. You know, so was that more of a luck factor last game where he just takes Flash and Ghost? You know? Is that typical of him and it just sort of synced up with Sivir? Or is this a mistake where he didn't change his sums? I'm not sure.
You see Syndra with Corrupted Pod too. Definitely looking for some early trades with that.
Yeah, very interesting from Stepfather. He's a very aggressive laner. You know, definitely not the guy you want to be on the other side of. He's intimidating. He's got a very strong lane phase.
Okay, so we're looking at a early gank this time.
And that hook connects.
Wow.
Even through the Flash.
No way.
First blood.
That was, see, and...
For Grand Valley.
Yes, see, that's maybe what they should have done last game. Is go for that level 1 gank. But it's because they started
on the red.
Yeah.
On the red side. And that's what they needed to do. You know?
And maybe that's what their holdup was.
And that was a crazy hook to get that through Zeus's Flash.
Oh yeah, it looked like those were a really good trade up top too. But yes, it allowed J4 to hit his sword as well. So Chicken Nugs really followed up on that, really followed through.
And the first blood does go to him as well. And that's nice. You know, you don't want it to give it to Nautilus, you know, like whatever, but definitely well played where they're able to pass it off. I wasn't even sure if he was going to make it because he was under that turret for a while, but they did make it out clean. It's an early lead for Grand Valley.
Looks like a much rougher matchup up top as well. It looks like, yeah.
Yeah, Camille's really picking up that CS lead, and that's kind of going how we predicted. You know, it's going to be hard for Sejuani to, you know, kill Camille. I don't think we're going to see that. It's just, you know, try to pick up CS where you can and go from there.
Yeah, it looks like Victor's poke is a little bit more direct than Syndra's.
Yeah.
But then again, Syndra does have corrupting pot, so.
Yep. And a little bit different start from Zeus. He didn't go the call. He went the sword this time. Sword and pots. So hopefully we didn't like cast or curse him where we're like, don't buy the call, and then he gives the first one.
Right. Well, would you go call with Varus? Would it make sense?
I wouldn't. I probably would have went Doran's Blade. He does pick up the call. He still wants to go this call. It's a play style. I'll say that. It's almost like a mindset where it's like, okay, I need to farm. You know, that's how I play it. I'm just like, I need to farm. Don't fight. Just let me CS. You know, so I can definitely see that coming from Zeus, especially with his CS score, you know, last game.
Looks like we have a decent amount of river vision, which is always nice.
Yeah. Lots of trades going mid. You know, we keep kind of panning to this mid lane, and but nothing really connecting. And this is kind of one of Syndra's problems is, you know, she really doesn't have much kill potential until 6. You know, she really needs that ult to finish things off. So even though it was close for Acquiescence, it's nice because, you know, he's still just here, playing Victor, CSing. Very typical gameplay for Victor. Just farm it out, you know, scale up, get your upgrades. I mean, there's really not much more that's expected.
Wow. So we're seeing Chemtech Drake already.
Yep. Grand Valley, they're playing into their early lead, trying to get something started. Mango Lover just a little bit behind, you know, clearing that vision, and the first drag goes over to Grand Valley.
Yep. Yeah, and you know, like we were saying with kind of like the drafting phase seemed to flip. It seems like Grand Valley is now playing towards the objectives.
Yep, and here we go. We've got another gank, another hook connects.
Massive gank.
Yep, and here's Mango Love.
Yep. Maybe jumping in a little too late.
Yep, he wanted to answer something.
Varus and almost finishing, the wave finished it off.
Oh my gosh. Yep, so Zeus picks that up. Definitely a little bit of a lucker dog kill there.
Yeah, well,
you know.
You just put yourself in a Toria's situation. You see those little tiny bullets coming in. You know the inevitable's coming.
Yeah, unfortunately, through the summoners, does hand over a kill to Davenport.
Well, and I'm glad to see that Chicken Nugs is playing on this this snowball, you know, which literally, you know,
playing
as a
towards
player.
this. Playing towards this bot side. Yeah, definitely a little bit of a relief.
Yep. Stepfather's really low, but still able to hug the tower.
Yep. And Agent P trying to kind of roam up, but, you know, Stepfather kind of has a feeling that maybe it's getting a little too close.
Yep, yeah. It's weird because this is definitely not a top game right now. Like
Yeah. Camille just, you know, like we said, how are these kills going to happen top?
Yeah.
We're really looking at a bot lane game here, kind of that mid and bot. You know, we're going to see a lot more action. And just in general, I feel like these sorts of fights are much easier to kind of break down, you know, just because it is all on one side. Whereas last game, it was much more like, whoa, there's stuff happening everywhere right now, 1-for-1. But I'm definitely feeling a lot more pressure from Grand Valley. They're really putting it on.
Yeah, and it almost seems like if Nautilus wants to, Abyss Stigma can just roam a little bit, since Jinx is already a little bit ahead, you know.
Right. And it's solid gank from Mango Lover. Kind of traded Flash mid. Probably would have liked to see that gank at 6. Not sure why they were trying to put so much pressure before 6. Especially, you know, Victor already down the CS lead. You know, I think it's just trying to match the pressure that Stepfather really puts out. I mean, he's a really clean mid. I mean, look at this CS lead. 20 CS up.
Yeah.
You know, that starts to weigh on you. You know, you start to make calls like, whoa, this guy is putting pressure on me. I need help.
Looks like Mango might be doing Rift. Oh, there's nothing much.
An engage bot from Zeus. Clean. Whoa. This is a level 6 difference.
Exactly.
Yep.
They took advantage of their level 6.
Yep. And this is clean. I think they can still get this. Solid flash from Abyss. But here we go, answering mid. Stepfather picks up a kill. I mean, this is, again, this 1-for-1. It's like, you know, we're seeing kills on one side of the lane and for one team, and then, you know, the other team answers. I mean, this is very sophisticated gameplay.
Yep, and then it looks like, yeah, Chicken Nug's taking advantage of the situation and just snagging Rift Herald real quick.
Yep, so Grand Valley, they pick up the Rift Herald. They've got these early objectives. Definitely a difference from what we saw, you know. And this is good. When you pick up early objectives and you got a Jinx, maybe it's not so much a big deal, you know, to give up a few kill spot. No big deal. So much pressure from mid. Just Stepfather landing those Syndra Qs. Just so much damage onto Victor.
Yep. Yeah, those trades top just don't really seem to mean much.
Yep, it's a bit of a wet noodle fight top for sure. Yeah, and I mean, we're not seeing ignites, you know, definitely a CS lead for Jacob. And that could help, you know, it could put that pressure. I'm just not sure. Box kind of out of mana, not sure, you know, where else he can really go. But, I mean, look at all this stuff happening bot.
Yup. Taking this Cloud Drake.
Davenport really wants this. They really want this Cloud Drake. I mean, this is going to blow up.
Okay, so J4
Yep.
snipe.
Yep, with a steal.
And there goes Acquiescence. Oh.
Grand
Yep.
Valley.
The Thresh, can the Threshold
Zeus picks up another kill here, but lots of damage coming from Jinx. I would still keep going. I mean, this is going great for Toria. This is looking like a triple for Toria.
Yeah.
Or they might pass it over. Yep. Triple kill for Toria on the Jinx early. I mean, this is a problem now. You know, when you've got Jinx with a triple kill this early, it can be kind of this early sign of how these team fights might play out. I kind of miss what was happening in the beginning of that fight just because, yeah, these engages are so fast-paced, you know? It's kind of hard to see exactly what's all happening just up front, you know?
There's so much CC on both sides. And then it looks like, yeah, the Ocean Drake Soul kind of doing the opposite, building more terrain, more hiding spots, maybe more spots for, you know, Mango Lover, J4 to get, to catch people out.
Yep. Thinking about the sustain, you know, What team really does best with the sustain here? I would say, I guess it could go either way. I mean, both teams would probably like it, but you know, Grand Valley, they have the decision making now. They've made these early investments. They can leverage it off and see what they want to do. Do we want to pick up some turrets? You know, how can we trade these souls around?
Yep. And yeah, really playing to those objectives it creates pressure where if it's not being taken advantage of in other lanes. Okay, yeah, Chicken Nug's caught out, but might get away. Flash on Zach. I can't.
So much. I mean, so Thresh lands a hook, Agent P lands a hook, and Zeus follows up with the ult, and that's going to be Abyss going down. But that was so much damage coming from Jinx.
Yes.
Toria, I mean, excellent use of fish bones here, but Acquiescence picks up that shutdown.
Yes, that could be an issue.
Yep.
But losing mid lane because of it.
Yeah. So lots of fighting, but there's always an answer. You know, neither team is really giving up anything too much here. So still pretty hard to see where this all might be going.
Yeah, and it was pretty important that Grand Valley got the plating on that mid turret as well, right as the plating fell off. That was really good timing.
Yeah, definitely going to be a little bit of extra gold for Grand Valley. And we've got 6 kills on the Jinx. You know, this is a lot different than the last game where, you know, we didn't see much out of Misfortune. You know, out of Toria, Misfortune. It's hard to pick up those kills on MF, you know. It's almost like she has that more supportive playstyle on MF. But Jinx, you're getting kills. There's no support. She's here to do damage.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's pretty, items-wise, it's pretty even for bot lane. I mean, they both have Kraken Slayer. They both have boots.
Yeah, about even. Abyss. That's a nice hook.
Yeah, okay.
Follows up with the grenades.
Yeah.
Excellent zap.
It slows.
Oh, but the rocket doesn't quite connect, but it's so much damage.
Gets another hook.
And it's going to follow up.
Yep.
Oh my, double kill for Toria. This Jinx is a problem down bot.
Absolutely.
It's creating so much pressure. Stepfather wants to try to do something mid, but he's caught out by Mango.
Yeah, I mean, might. Okay. Yeah, it's not free. It's not free.
Yep, they're turning it around.
Zach trying to ult out, but he gets caught by the J4 ring.
Yep, no passive on Zach. So Grand Valley, they're able to, you know, pick this up.
Camille
and
jumping in.
Yeah, this is definitely looking a lot stronger from Grand Valley. I mean, they're just, even though Stepfather's going down, you know, the reinforcements were there. They saw it coming, you know, they were ready to come, back him up, and answer for those kills.
Maybe a fight out. Sejuani teleporting in for the Ocean Drake. Fresh
in.
Maybe getting caught out. Not
a little bit of a slow.
Missed hook.
But here's Jacob on Camille diving this.
Camille doing what? Yes.
But very caught out. I mean, this is too much.
Yeah,
not nearly enough damage.
Was too much.
And this is Grand Valley just really picking up these team fights right now. And they don't even have to leverage it off. I mean, they're just getting these free kills. Zach passive going down.
Yes.
This is starting to snowball out of control.
Yeah, there's just not enough vision.
Another hook from Abyss and passing it off. It's an ace for Grand Valley.
Yes, the Nautilus hook seems to be proving a little bit, you know.
Yes, yep, and yes. Who played Nautilus last game? Was it Davenport or Grand Valley?
I think it was Grand Valley.
Okay, so
yeah, Abyss Stigma still on the same role.
Yeah. No, because I think Agent P had it, right? Was it Agent P on Not? And then it was Abyss playing Alistar?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I think this Nautilus pick, yeah, really proving to be maybe
Okay.
that more of a contested pick, maybe something to keep an eye out.
Sure. Yeah, because as it stands, we might be looking at a third round.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah, there's still time. So here, let's jump into Davenport's mindset. What can they do right now to keep this game under control?
Oh, it looks like Camille is about to get dove.
Missed hook.
Missed hook, but it's okay
yep,
because
it's so much CC.
and it's just no worries about
Yep.
tanking a couple tower hits.
Yep. We've got Rift Herald pushing top. I mean,
Yeah, second Rift already.
Box here to make his own play. I mean, he's here. So much tower damage coming in.
Yeah, it just, unfortunately, it just doesn't seem like it's enough.
Yep. But still, Grand Valley taking these turrets, taking objectives. I mean, we're 18 minutes in, almost a 10K gold lead. So I think from Davenport's side, they're really trying to pick up maybe an objective bounty right here. You know,
They did get an objective bounty, and yeah, maybe that's the problem with Sejuani low. Just not enough wave clear,
yeah,
not enough ability, not enough presence to intimidate.
yeah, yeah,
Davenport had no problem being underneath the tower.
yeah. So definitely a good pickup there for Davenport. So, like I said, jumping into their mindset, how can they come back from this? You know, it's going to be hard because not the same level of wave clear that they had before. And maybe that's something they need to think about is, you know, maybe we need to go back to Sivir. Maybe we need to play into those wave clear champs because we need time to, you know, buy into these fights a little bit more.
Yeah, and plus, I think another advantage that Grand Valley naturally has, but has more now that they have control over the map, is they have a very real chance at getting the soul, getting Ocean Soul.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And this is one of the kind of like the death moments because it's like you've got 3 dragons. You can put pressure where you need to on either side of the map to really create something strong.
And now Grand Valley's getting Baron because there was no vision from Davenport around that objective. They had no idea that Grand Valley was right there.
Yep. Yep. So it's a free pickup for Grand Valley. Free Baron pickup. Definitely what they want to see.
Putting a lot of pressure down mid as well.
Yep. And with this Jinx, you know, they're really, they're putting the pressure. They have, you know, I mean, this is Jinx's strong suit, you know, hit these turrets from the back, especially with Baron, you know, tap that Q and just let a few rockets fly off. I mean,
no worries.
Yep. And see, this is where Thresh, Agent P's Thresh pick, you know, really have to land these hooks and
huge catch, there's a few stuns. Not sure if he can contribute. This Stigma is ulting a little maybe early.
a delayed fight.
Okay.
That's a very huge hook. There we go. Block, shut down.
Huge shutdown. There's Zach diving in, maybe. Okay. Mango Lover.
They're really pacing it out.
Camille,
Jacob
getting the shutdown. Or was it? I don't even know.
Yep, yep.
Okay, so yeah, maybe they weren't, you know, as untouchable as maybe they thought they were.
Yes. Yeah, definitely they gave some time to Agent P to land his hooks, land some CC. You know, that's really what they needed. And right as I was critiquing, like, we need something now, Thresh, you know?
Yeah. But I guess that maybe that is the risk that you run with Thresh, is sometimes you're not landing that CC like you need to. It's not as easy as with Nautilus where, you know, even if you miss that hook, you can still walk in.
Walk right up, do a auto, lay a quick stun down.
Yes. But with Thresh, there's a little more pressure to land that hook because you can scrape, but it only does so much.
Right. Little zap, laid down on Agent P.
Definitely this fight over Soul. Another Nautilus hook.
Huge hook. I mean, this is going Grand
So much
Valley's way.
CC.
So much damage coming from the
Yes.
back line.
And the threshold isn't enough to slow down anybody.
It's not enough to peel. Grand Valley just cleaning these fights, and Grand Valley still wants more. Bach, maybe overstaying, but that's a huge rocket.
Yes.
Ace for Grand Valley.
Ocean Soul.
Ocean Soul, I mean, they've taken the map here. And yeah, this is definitely a weaker draft from Davenport, you know, not the same level of wave clear, not the same level of team fight, and just letting Toria have all this room, all this space. It's a lot of damage coming from Jinx. And really, Kraken Slayer and Runons, I mean, all that damage coming out from that. And we're not even at Infinity Edge yet.
Yes. And it's, yeah, barely at 23 minutes.
Yeah. So.
Very early lead.
Yep. And see, this is maybe what the problem was for Davenport's draft, was picking Varus early. Almost something I would never do.
Okay, like, yeah, first picking Varus.
Yep. I love to see the pick. I think it's a great pick, but it's a niche pick. And it's because Varus has so many tough matchups. And I just, you know, Jinx, definitely probably one of the worst ones, because if you don't make something happen early on Varus, you're gonna end up in a situation like this, where Jinx is just free hitting your team, and yeah, just so much damage coming out.
Hitting structures, clearing waves.
A little bit of a delay. We'll try to jump back into the gameplay.
Yes,
Here we go.
Back in.
Yep. Don't worry, we're still here. All right.
So yeah, maybe something going on top. Definitely seems like everybody's on top.
Yeah. A little bit of front lining
Okay,
from
and there's
Toria.
a Nautilus, giant Nautilus goal.
Yep. But Grand Valley, there's a lot of damage coming out.
Camille tried to single out Toria,
but it's just not working. It's just not working quite the same. And another triple kill for Toria.
The snowball keeps rolling.
Yeah. It definitely looking like Grand Valley is going to take game 2 here. They're trying to push this in.
Yeah, they have mid inhib, they have top inhib. Yeah, they might just end it right here if they can.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. I mean, they still have a little bit of time. I mean, what can Davenport really do here? You know,
unless caught Victor, but it's just not enough.
I mean, Toria's just hitting the turret. I mean, we have exposed Nexus right now for Davenport. They're trying to answer something. They've got a TP from Jacob, trying to make this happen, but so much CC and damage, even with the flank.
And now Victor is caught out.
It is just spelling disaster for Davenport. Not quite the damage. A little bit picking up here. Davenport's trying to answer something.
Yes.
They're down 2 inhibs and exposed Nexus.
And now Baron's up, so
maybe this is what Davenport needs to come back. Just give it a little bit of time to scale this out. Agent P lands a hook on Toria. But
wow.
Manga Lover so low, and we've got Baron.
By Baron. I mean, wow, okay.
Grand Valley still picking up kills in these disastrous fights.
And now they're gonna, well, not, Abyss Stigma back up. Mega Lover trying to stick around, trying to
little bit of a early mistake. Not enough vision.
Not enough vision to smite steal.
Yeah. So Grand Valley picking up the Baron. And the minions kind of coming in. This is going Grand Valley's way.
This looks like the end. So
couple more hits, you guys. Finish it up.
Yeah, it was a really good thresh hook on Toria and blasting the flower, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah. So we're going to game 3.
Yes.
And I'm really happy to say that because these teams are going 1 for 1. This has been the theme between these teams, 1 for 1. And yeah, we're seeing it. I love it. It's awesome gameplay.
Yeah, there's always an answer for everything, it seems.
Yeah, it's really nice. Yeah, going to game 3.
So yeah, I think we're probably going to take a 5-minute break here.
Yep. We're going to take a short little break, about 5 minutes, and kind of let these teams think about their draft, and we'll see what happens in game 3.
We'll get back into it.
Yep.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. First day, first year, you're diving in, head first. Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Want to build something? Great. Learn to melt metal with fire. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Care for eyes? Do it all here. And here too, side by side with the pros. But you've got to go forward fast. Why? No time to explain. Okay, fine. We'll explain. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. See this guy? That's Woodbridge Ferris. He founded this place with purpose to help everyone move forward. Big Rapids? No, bigger. How about the whole state, the country, the world? Forward, not backwards, not sideways, forward. So get moving. Move your ideas, move others' minds too. This is your future, your opportunity. So take it and move all of us forward.
What will the future bring? Up here, we ask a different question. What does tomorrow need? At Michigan Technological University, we design, invent, code, and create. Where humanity intersects technology, where passion aligns with purpose. You'll find us with our sleeves rolled up and grit under our fingernails. We make medical breakthroughs. We operate robots to help screen for Alzheimer's, find new sources of energy and automation, and delve deep underwater to monitor our Great Lakes. No one said it would be easy, but at Michigan Tech, we don't expect it to be. We know the future will need answers, and the future starts now. Tomorrow needs Michigan Tech. Tomorrow needs you.
My experience here has been great. I have a very strong connection to other students. Everyone makes an effort to help each other.
I'm getting the opportunity to meet people, getting the opportunity to build relationships, not only with faculty, but also with students. The small class sizes at P&W allow a lot of collaboration. We see people forming study groups all the time.
Being involved is the number one thing I'm always going to advocate to other students. A lot of it is perspective and hearing other people's opinions. You all are different, but each one is bringing something to the table.
One of the most important things, I think, is being able to build a relationship with your professors. Almost every single professor I've had, I'm on a first-name basis.
I have been able to go to them for advice and actually know that they're supporting me and on my side and want the best for me.
Welcome back. We're here at the great, GLIAC, to keep it short. I'm Spirit of a Dove. I'm here with McElroy. We're back for Game 3 of Grand Valley versus Davenport. Just to kind of give an update on some games that are being played off stream. So in the semifinals, so Ferris got defeated by Michigan Tech. So Michigan Tech will be going to the finals. So unfortunately for Ferris, yeah, they won't be seeing that, I don't believe. So yep, that's just kind of a quick look at the bracket, but we're here for Game 3 of Grand Valley versus Davenport. We're 1-1. Both these teams showing up to play. Really a lot riding on this game now. This is match point. And, the theme has been 1 for 1. And now we're here. Game 3. This is where it matters.
Yes.
No more cards to hide. This is it. Best champs, best picks, best strategies. It's all on the line.
See, and I'm really excited for this game because the sheer difference between Game 1 and Game 2, depending on their strategies, they flipped completely. Whereas the first game, Davenport played more towards the late game scaling characters, whereas Grand Valley played towards the early game, early gank potential.
Yeah.
Complete opposite in Game 2, where Grand Valley took the strategy of, okay, we need to scale, we need to play into jinx.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it was very interesting to see, how the teams switched their strategies. Hey, let's play that late game. For Grand Valley, they're like, hey, let's play late game, see what happens, and it worked for them. They were able to get jinx scaling, and I mean, it was just a snowball. It really snowballed out of control. It didn't even have to go to super late game.
Yes.
So, very curious to see, what's the strategy now? Where are we going to go from here? What strategies will the teams employ?
Yeah, and I guess really it starts with the ban phase because in the second game, one of the first bans we saw from Grand Valley was Kled. And Kled was kind of Davenport's early ticket to the victory in that first game.
Yes.
So it makes me wonder, I mean, I don't know, maybe will we see like a J4 ban or Jinx, Nautilus maybe?
Yes. I think if Nautilus makes it through this round, I would be very surprised because Nautilus was the winning champ on both sides. So, yep, heading into the draft phase here, we'll kind of see.
Yeah. So we're seeing straight off the bat, we're seeing the Maokai ban.
Yep. Maokai's banned, for sure. And I'm curious to see if, because there's a champ that we haven't really talked about much, and that's Annie.
Ah.
So Annie is kind of S+ tier in support and mid right now, but no team has either banned or picked Annie. So I'm curious to see if maybe we'll see it or, Maybe Cassante will make it through this game, and we'll see some Cassante gameplay. I mean, this is game 3. You know, this could really be where all the picks come out.
So, yep, okay, so like the past 2 games, we've had Swain, Maokai, and Mordekaiser banned. But now we're seeing Kled again. Kled's not making it through. J4 and Nocturne banned.
Yep. And Davenport picks up Sivir, first pick. They want this Sivir. They got their hands on it. This is what they need. They need that wave clear. They want to play to that strength. Let's see how Grand Valley responds.
Yes. With a Jinx hover?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Thinking Jinx.
Without the J4 for gank potential, Grand Valley is going to be looking for something.
Yeah, and you know, this is what we were saying. I'm really surprised to see that Nautilus makes it through on both sides. You know, maybe it's just that fear of the Mordekaiser and the Kled. You know, maybe they just can't really afford Nautilus, but we need to see an answer from Davenport on the support side. I'm not thinking Thresh this time.
Locked in on Vi for Davenport.
Different. I think this is more suited to Davenport's play style, you know, because when they had Zach, you know, we were already thinking, like, not enough damage, you know, but Vi, ooh, she gets on you.
Yes. Are we looking at another Thresh pick?
They still really want this Thresh, you know, and it might be a little bit different. Okay, a Mumu.
All right.
Ooh, now we're going back.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, this is a lot of CC from Davenport. And, you know, a Mumu support, kind of one of those picks that really boosted in popularity and then kind of fell off, but he's still there. You know, he's still got that double bandage toss buff.
Yeah.
It's, when you face it in solo queue and you're not expecting it, it can really send you in. Like, so.
We're seeing a Silas pick on Grand Valley.
Yeah.
And Silas was banned the past 2 games as well. So
yes.
I wonder if there's a reason.
Yeah. So Stepfather really wants the Silas pick. I'm behind it, especially having a Mumu ult to steal.
Yeah.
There we go, you know.
True.
So kind of forcing out those early strong picks like Davenport, and this is the draft phase, you know, where you know, you really got to think critically, like, whoa, there's 2 strong, maybe even 3 strong ults on Davenport's side. Sivir ult, that's pretty strong too to steal. So again, Davenport, they've got to start thinking, get away from our ults. We already have enough strong ults. We need something more. But they already are stacking so much AD. Like, some of the first champs that came to my mind were like Master Yi or Jax or something. But it's already so much AD.
And then they're going with a Scion pick.
Right, which is even more. There's no AP on this side. I mean, this is an interesting draft from Davenport. A Vladimir.
That could work. I mean,
yeah, I mean,
burst.
There is a little bit of magic damage coming from a Mumu. It's not bad. I'm kind of looking at the tanks on Grand Valley's side. Not the super tankiest. You know, I mean...
Yeah, they have Nautilus.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like Sejuani or Mundo or Scion, you know.
Well,
so
if they go Shen...
Shen, definitely much more of that tankier side. These are some very interesting picks.
Yes.
Malphite. They want to lock in Malphite. Okay, so yeah, this is really these are our picks for game 3. This is what we're locked in. Where is this gonna go? This is it. I mean, we are looking at the final match right here for these teams.
Yeah.
They have to make these champs work.
Yeah, and you know, I'm looking a lot at the potential CC right now. Just looking at Nautilus, who his entire kit is built around crowd control.
Right.
Silas with the ability to steal massive AoE crowd control from Amumu.
Right.
And now we have Malphite ult.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in terms of draft, I suppose maybe I'm favoring Grand Valley, like just early, kind of takes. But again, Davenport really surprised in game 1 with that wave clear.
Yes.
And maybe if they can get that going again with that wave clear, buy some time, let Zeus do the hard work, maybe we're looking at another game where it's just going to be these kind of tat for tat,
Yeah, well, and I'm also looking at Scion on Jacob, and I'm wondering, is it going to be split pushing Scion? Because there's always potential for that,
Yes, yeah. Yeah, kind of, give it that hull breaker Scion, just feeding into them. But if you're just hitting it down, doesn't really matter, when your Nexus is getting taken. I mean, yeah, so that's definitely an interesting thing to look at.
Yeah, but we know that with Vi Amumu, there's going to be probably a lot of ganks going on bot side.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we'll see. This is what I hope I see. I hope I see some bot lane pressure from Mango Lover on Vi. Get down there, dive that Jinx.
Yes.
Because you've got that strong gank, you've got the bandage toss, Zeus is there to do the damage. It can work. Vladimir, he's going to scale up. There's this problem that I always have, and I always say, if you let Vlad hit level 9 through 11, it's going to be bad. Like, it's going to be hard to manage him because he just starts to get so much lifesteal, so much of that vamp. I'm like, oh, great, Vladimir's level 9. You know what I'm saying? Like, here we go. And it's because, he's got, like, maybe cooldown boots or maybe just a little bit of resist and some vamp, just whatever it is. And he really becomes a problem.
Well, and plus he has a lot of ability to escape the CC on their team.
Right, yep.
With his pool.
Yeah.
So, if Nautilus tries to hit a hook and misses, usually not much that can be done.
Right, and, see, this is interesting because I like to see more of these skill cap champs coming from Davenport's side, because before we had Mango Lover on Nocturne and Zeus on Sivir still, but having those spell shields, that's potential, to outplay, to really make a difference in these team fights.
Yeah, and we definitely saw that with the spell shield in game 1.
Yeah.
Like I saw some crazy cancels because of the spell shield.
Yes.
So I guess that is another way to think about it, trying to counter this crowd control.
Yes.
Because, I'm just picturing Nautilus lands a hook, maybe throws a depth charge out, and then Malphite can always ult on top of that.
Right. And, if Malphite's ulting in and Vlad pools, I mean, he's safe.
Exactly.
I mean, so there's potential for Davenport to play these fights,
Yes.
if they play them well. What's Grand Valley's answer? They still do have the Jinx, maybe hitting these turrets from afar, but maybe not that same pressure that they had before with Syndra and, that sort of thing going on.
Yeah, and I mean, I can already picture Vi probably diving on top of the Jinx in every team fight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Vi definitely gonna have that catch potential, that suppression. There's very few of those in League of Legends. It's like Warwick, Vi. I don't even know what else. There's a third one, I think.
Yeah, maybe like Tom Kench.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like, and to be suppressed, it's a very interesting CC. Like, there's only so much you can do. I don't even know if you can QSS it. I think you can.
Yeah, I think you can.
But it doesn't even really matter because it's like you're getting knocked up and suppressed. Like, it's such a funny thing with Vi. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe if you're going against, Malzahar has a suppression.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, Malzahar, yep.
Like,
So-
you know, that might be worth QSSing, but not a Vile.
Right, exactly, because Vi, like I said, knocking you up, you can't QSS knockout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, jumping in. Here we go. This is it, game 3.
This is it.
This is it. Here we go. Grand Valley State University versus Davenport University. We're on the Rift. It's game 3.
And
Here we go.
Grand Valley going for the classic invade
Yep.
again.
Red side, they've got this Nautilus hook. They're really putting pressure. Agent P, he's caught, but no hook thrown out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got a couple wards down. I mean, Amumu was forced a ward right away. A few teleport, probably not.
And Zeus, here we go with Ghost, but this time on Sivir. Maybe more into his playstyle, starting that cull. You know, wants to kind of mimic what happened in game 1. You know, go back to your strengths, okay? And you know, think about that too from Davenport's perspective. Winning game 1 is nice because now you have that game 2 to experiment, maybe see what went wrong, and now let's go back to game 1. You know, what stuck in game 1.
Yeah. And it seems like, yeah, for the most part, they're getting back to it. There's going to be a lot more action mid, too, because Silas is going to want to be fighting and trading the entire time.
Right. And, yeah, it's interesting because Acquiescence takes Ignite here.
Okay.
A little bit different. I think he was kind of more on this teleport.
Yes.
But maybe wants to be a little bit more aggressive in lane this time.
I mean, yeah, when you're going against a Silas, I would assume you'd probably want more fight potential.
Right. A little bit of trading. And top, I did notice that Bach was a little late to lane, so I'm not sure, you know, how this might kind of affect the lane. Probably not too bad, but Sion is a bit of a bully.
Yes.
And I've had it very often where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pick Malphite. Where can I go wrong? And then I try to lane, and it just doesn't work out, you know, because it's hard to CS on Malphite just because the way his animations are and the way he kind of like does this AoE damage. You know, it's not the easiest to pick up CS on Malphite, and he just doesn't really have that much kill potential. So, you know, he's really one of those champs where you have to play with your team. So
he also uses a lot more mana than Sion does. So
right.
Less ability to stay in lane.
Yeah. So maybe that all being said, don't play Malphite in solo queue. At least my lesson.
Yeah, and it's the junglers are kind of going back to that game 1 farm scale.
Yep.
Don't really try to gank.
Yep, a little bit more slow gameplay this time. And maybe that was, you know, what went wrong for Davenport in game 2. Was just letting kind of those fights happen awry, you know, just random fights, letting too much go one way, and then all of a sudden, whoa, we're down a bunch of gold, you know, so a little bit more slow gameplay.
There might be a gank bot. Zach's kind of chilling in a bush right now.
Yep. Acquiescence fighting mid.
Yeah, if Stepfather decides to recall.
Nug's probably going to commit to this recall.
Yep.
Yep. So, a little bit of a stale out there. That's all right, you know. Like we're saying, playing slow, waiting for that opportunity. I mean, this is game 3. A first blood could be the difference. You don't want to throw that away easy.
Well, we see Silas already with the Dark Seal pickup.
Very aggressive from Stepfather with no Ignite, but still wants that Dark Seal. I always find it funny when those wards are mid like that, just because how much vision is that really providing? I mean, it is interesting, you know.
I see what you mean.
But yeah, I'm always curious to see why those wards get placed. Sometimes they can get a little bit deeper in the lane if you can get it just right. But yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just for, you know, quick roam
Or
something.
You would almost think like, man, I want to get this ward in a bush. Or like somewhere where I think the jungler might be, not where my laner is.
Yeah, well, you got to think too, like, you know, if a jungler is in that bush, they can just sweep while they're hiding.
Right.
But yeah, huge trade, both level 6 mid, Malphite level 6, but he can't really do much with it.
Yep.
Unless he commits to this roam.
Yeah, and just kind of noticing here, both junglers kind of at a slower pace. I mean, Mango Lover's still level 4 here.
Whoa, yeah.
Yes,
that
that's
was a good roam.
Yep. Huge first blood for Grand Valley.
Yes. He knew he couldn't do anything against Scion. What was he, you know, he can't do anything with his ult against someone that is, you know, has as much sustain.
Right.
And is such a bully like Scion, so he just roamed down mid.
Yep, and maybe this is where, like I said, Vlad should have, you know, been thinking about this, maybe save that pool for a little bit, something more intense. Here we go, we got more action happening bot. Kind of fizzled out.
Yep, flash by Zeus, but at least Grand Valley got first blood. They got Drake.
Yep, they picked up the dragon. I'm not sure what the Chem Drake does just up front in terms of stats. I still think it's like resistances. So I'd say that's pretty nice to have on Zac, Malphite, Not, you know. Having a little bit of extra tankiness definitely doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I mean a little bit more survivability for Jinx even.
Yeah, absolutely. Seeing much more even CS this game too. You know, as before, where it was Stepfather really had these leads mid, and even Jacob versus Bach was really picking up these CS leads. So a little bit different play style for Jacob even to get him off the Camille, get him off the Kled. Now on Scion, that's different. Different gameplay, but still able to get aggressive where he needs to. Bach's pretty far down this lane.
Yeah, Nautilus is roaming mid too. It looks like they might be going for this gank here, but
Yep, they really want to put pressure.
Yep,
Nice
there's the
pool. Nice pool from Acquiescence.
Yeah, that was really good timing.
So, Zeus, his call, kind of winding down here, you know, trying to get that early investment done. And we'll see, you know. These team fights in the mid game are really gonna come down to how Agent P is able to land his abilities.
Giant Rift Herald fight.
This is
okay, yeah, Scion ulting in. Didn't do much to save the situation, but might turn it around.
Yep. Acquiescence, see, still not quite at that power spike for Vlad. I mean,
yeah, not
this
quite
is
the
really
fight they wanted.
Scion, Jacob trying to pick it up, but
yeah,
fizzling out there. Acquiescence, he's still got some pressure. But
yeah,
they're
no ults. There's no ults at least, but
they're gonna chip him down. That's gonna be another kill handed over to Grand Valley. It's 4-0.
Yep, and now Grand Valley gets the Rift Herald.
Yep, and again from Davenport, not really playing to those strengths in Vladimir's power spikes.
Yes.
Trying to make things happen just a little bit too early.
And now Sivir might be caught out. And Zeus got away, played with the lane, or with the wave. Spell shield to slow down.
They're still fighting.
Okay, so yeah, Mango Lover comes back.
Yep, Mango Lover wants this.
Yeah, maybe Scion should have stayed in help.
Play this beautiful E. Oh, a little bit of a misplay, but it's fine. It's fine.
Yep.
Mango Lover picks up chicken nugs.
The Rift did not reset either, so that was very good.
Yep. Very nice E from Vi. You know,
Mhm.
lining up those Zac blobs and punching through them.
That's methodical.
Yeah. Definitely takes some precision. Agent P, little caught out on these grenades. Lots of damage coming out.
Yep, there's the flash.
No ult connects. And that's a kill with the
Wow.
Ignite for Abyss.
Yeah, it didn't go on Toria, did it?
No.
Yep, that was the Ignite.
Yep. Yeah, a little bit tankier not to deal with, but here's Mango Lover getting these ganks off on Vi.
Yes. See, that's the Vi gameplay you need.
Yep. Little short of the punch there.
But got a
Yeah.
flash.
Yep. Definitely these intense fights mid. Acquiescence feeling the pressure, just needs a little bit more time to scale up. Vlad can still become this powerhouse.
Oh, Malphite. Yeah.
Agent
Bach.
Pierce here to defend.
Yes. If Agent P wasn't there, Bach might have ulted that.
Yeah, he was thinking about it.
Yeah, but then you never sure about the pool, you know?
Yeah.
The pool could always be waiting.
Right. And giving a little more of that turret playing over to Jacob. He's definitely enjoying that.
Yeah, I mean, he's just playing, you know, playing
Yeah.
Scion, not playing.
Yeah,
pretty much.
absolutely.
So it looks like, is that Ocean Drake that's up right now?
Yep. So
Just put
Ocean on the second. Yep.
Got some vision around it.
Yep. Grand Valley.
They're
Looking to
definitely-
take this.
Yeah, they're thinking about it.
Bring out vision. Agent P level 6. This could make the difference. But maybe not quite in the position. Mango Lover is here.
Yeah. They might just. Are they gonna give it? I mean, Vlad.
Yeah,
Vlad's
that's,
rotating around, but it might just be too late.
yeah, not quite the
Yeah.
response Davenport was looking for. Maybe a little indecisive. Maybe he just said, you know, hey, this is interesting.
Yeah,
ult
Malphite
coming
ult.
from Bach.
Yeah, Jacob caused Jacob to flash.
This is
Yeah.
quite the slowdown from Bach. I mean, this
That-
could become a problem. No
Yes,
ult from
that-
Jacob.
That
I mean,
Frostfire Gauntlet. I mean, he's just kiting.
yep, not quite the damage quite yet.
Yeah.
But 2-0 Malphite. I mean, it's funny to see, you know, Malphite kind of chasing you down the lane like that.
Yeah.
But here's Mango Lover here to answer.
Okay,
They
because-
want to punish this.
no ult. Yep.
Yep, they
No way
want to
get away.
punish this.
There's the flash, but I
The
might
follow up, and that's going to be enough, I would think.
Yep.
But oh my
Whoa.
goodness, with the shield there.
Yes, that was
Oh.
such good timing on Vi
Yep.
or on Mango Lover.
So good punish from Davenport. They didn't just let Bach chase down the lane for almost a minute straight there.
Toria tried to find Mango Lover with that rocket, but
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that was a few meters off.
Yep. Close. Always got to try for those global ultis.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, what's the
What's
you
the
know,
harm?
Yeah, why not?
Yep.
And if
So-
it landed, that would have been a huge shutdown too.
Right. Yep. So
Whoa, okay.
able to stop that rift from getting any more damage onto that top.
Yeah, they didn't get too much with it, so.
Yep. And you know that is kind of in Scion's play style is kind of tank this out just a little bit more than you would think,
Yeah.
and still be there to provide that damage.
Yes. Scion trying to. Yeah, Jacob's.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe try something bot lane.
Yeah, Jacob wants to roam here. Maybe line this up. This is the mount. Yeah, this is the moment.
Yup. Huge. That was a really good roam.
Yep.
Nice.
Zeus gonna pick up this kill.
Yup.
Oh,
And then
goes
there's
over to
Bach
Jacob.
with a teleport.
Yep. Bach here's the
Okay,
answer.
yeah.
No ultimate though.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
that was the
yep,
ulti.
He does get it off.
Jinx. Yeah.
Zeus kiting. Still has Ghost. I mean, I think they can keep going here. Oh,
That
what
was a good blast plant.
Yep, but here's
The
Mango
vial.
Lover
Yup.
with this Vi. Ready to gank, ready to support his team. with that suppression, oh, we are really seeing the buy game play.
There's a Silas teleport. 1v4. Oh,
Yep,
Bach was
not-
back.
And, you know, honestly, we're really not seeing too much from Stepfather here. You know, I'm really not even sure where he's picked up many of these kills. Just kind of in that mid lane. Kind of a few early mistakes from Acquiescence on Vlad, but now Vlad's reaching that point where, you know, he's got his Hextech Rocket Belt. He's really playing safe, scaling up, keeping the CS. So, yeah, Silas, kind of an interesting scale as far as like where his champ has a win condition. Yeah, good in the late game, I suppose. Because, yeah, you have that ability to steal, but versus Vlad, it's a lot more damage coming out from Acquiescence, I would think, looking at late game.
Yes. And I feel like Silas compared to Zoe and Syndra, it's a different play style out of Stepfather.
Absolutely. Yep. Having that melee more upfront, more engaged. Maybe not so much into Stepfather's playstyle, you know, where he is more of that backline mage, you know, because on Silas you have to get in there. You gotta do some work, you know.
It's like trying to pick another Rift Herald.
Yep. Dancing around mid here. Grand Valley gonna pick up Rift by the looks of it, or I don't know what they were fighting there. I swear it was the Rift. Or
Yeah, they got it.
Okay, yeah, it just didn't kind of like come across. Yeah. Grand Valley, they're summoning Rift, getting us engaged.
It's a hook on Scion.
Chicken Nose going deep.
Yes.
Stepfather able to pick this up.
That was a huge catch on Acquiescence, though.
And Grand Valley really picking up these kills. They're putting the pressure.
Yeah.
Jacob's here to answer.
He's tanking it. He's he's stalling it at least.
Yeah.
But Davenport's still losing mid and Hib.
Yeah. So Jacob wants to make something happen. You know, I wish we would have seen this ult maybe a little bit earlier. And then here's a Mango.
Yeah.
This is what Grand Valley needs. The quick catches.
Yes. The Nautilus hooks.
Yes.
They're just disgusting.
Yep. And I'm not sure how Nautilus made it through into this round 3 because we're really seeing the potential of those quick catches just to be able to single out these kills. Davenport still does have a little bit of a gold lead, but Grand Valley starting to pick up kills.
Yeah, and they have objectives. They have towers.
Yep, they have the towers. They have the dragons. They almost have Infernal Soul. So again, Grand Valley able to leverage these situations into what they need.
And still get more out of it because that last fight over Rift Herald.
Yep, they're able to pick it up and go mid with it, and
they still got kills.
Yeah, and if people, you know, gonna walk into them, walk into those hooks, I mean, sure, why not? We'll take it. So yeah, really missing the power spikes from Vlad. Kind of that 0-3-0 right now. There's still the potential. Zeus has the wave clear.
Yes.
They really need to try to wave clear this out. I think, you know, we're definitely still going to be looking at a bit of a late game here. So let Zeus clear the waves. Mango Lover really doing his work on Vi. I mean, really being that threat. I think it can definitely scale into something where you can't just ignore it. You can't just ignore the Vi dive.
But we also, you know, even though Toria doesn't have as much of that early lead that they had last game, it's still Jinx.
It's still Jinx, yep. And even a little bit of a better build path from Toria this time around. I really like the Kraken, Boots, and Zeal. That's like bread and butter right now. just, you got some crit, you got damage, you got the move speed. This is a great place to be for Jinx.
Yeah, and you know, Stepfather's stacking Darkseal and hasn't lost any stacks yet.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely something to consider. Maybe looking at that Mage Eyes this time around. Silas, I mean, he's got the lifesteal. He can sustain through some pretty crazy things. Something really nice about this patch is I think Riot's done a really good job at actually nerfing a lot of that disgusting lifesteal that we were seeing.
Yeah.
You know, we were seeing a lot of Aatrox and like just a lot of these
Swain.
Yep, these fights where it's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe this is in the game, you know? So, definitely looking like a nice patch. You know, this is where players are able to give it their all, make it more about their strategic gameplay. You know, we can see this. We can see it happening.
Silas maybe catching on Acquiescence. Still has Pool. Yep. Wasn't willing to tower dive because that would not have played out well.
Yep. So, Acquiescence able to buy some time, maybe give up this top. Not too bad of a trade. Just, you know, live with what you can.
And Jacob's playing very methodically too.
Yep, he's definitely, you know, going to the lanes that he needs to be. You know, you've got Sion pushing into bot. You got problems. You know, you're starting to think like, whoa, what's happening?
Give you a hug.
Yeah, maybe getting some. They're getting a lot of vision on Baron, and they're.
Yeah, Great Valley, they're starting this, but I think Davenport, yeah, they're suspicious. They know something's up.
Yeah,
But here's the Amumu, huge ulti from ADP. Lots of damage coming out. Mango Lover picks up Jinx. They have no AD carry.
Yeah, escaping a lot of the CC though.
Zeus pumping out damage.
Okay.
But Grand Valley still picking up some kills on the back end of this. Wow, what a fight.
And there's the lifesteal from Stepfather too, staying in it.
Yep,
Staying in the
he's
fight.
able to brawl this out, and they're cleaning up Davenport.
The Stigma escaping, barely.
And that's an ace for Grand Valley.
Yup.
Grand Valley really showing up to game 3 here. They put Toria on Jinx. They've got the Jinx. Stepfather maybe playing a little bit different play style, but still able to brawl this out. What a fight. I mean, just
Yeah, and
controlled, taking it one step at a time, even with Grand Valley. I thought it might go a little bit different because Grand Valley did lose Jinx early, you know, but...
Oh no, and now they're lining up for a soul. I mean, this is a fight for soul.
Right. So even with these, I mean, Agent P doesn't have ult. And this is where Amumu's support can kind of lack in this mid game, is his ult has a really long cooldown.
Agent P, or Jacob caught out.
Yep, Jacob's caught out, really pumping damage.
Ulting away.
Ult away.
It drew pressure away.
Yep, Mango Lover trying to make this dive happen, but
missing the ult.
Stepfather and Bach are just a menace being able to brawl this out, and Mango Lover's going down too. It's going to be Infernal Soul going over Grand Valley. I'm almost certain.
Yes.
Even though a little bit of a kind of jump here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that was like the exact fight they needed.
Yep.
Over Soul. And it was smart of them to not take Baron after they lost. After they Grand Valley won that fight.
And this is where we have to be critical of Davenport's support picks, because with that Amumu not being able to have that ult ready for these fights, I mean, still not level 11, you know, and I mean, neither is Nautilus or this Stigma, but
doesn't really need level 11.
Yeah, he's still got enough CC to make this happen.
Yeah, Nautilus doesn't rely on his ult CC.
Right.
It's his entire package.
So Baron picked up by Grand Valley. Very strong game 3 coming from Grand Valley. I mean, this is a serious problem for Davenport. Even with the wave clear for Sivir,
even with Scion trying to split push and make pressure.
Yeah, I think just maybe not giving Jacob, you know, these more of these AD heavy picks, you know, having that kind of assassin play style. Maybe a little bit
Acquiescence caught out. Oh
so
my.
much damage coming from Stepfather.
Yeah.
Agent P caught out, tries to ult, but it's just not enough.
Jinx is just running them down.
Yeah. And all Scion has to answer with is running back to Fountain. I gotta tell you something, you might be going to that Fountain anyway to defend your Nexus, because this is getting to be pressure for Grand Valley. I mean,
Yeah.
they're putting it on.
They're just taking towers.
So much damage with that Infernal, Baron. The towers are going melting right now.
Yep. Jacob trying to clear, but the Maiden Head's gone.
And what's interesting is, you know, really strong play on red side. You know, we saw blue side win both times, but now, whoa. Mega Lover going down, still too deep, not enough, but
yeah, just the Bach ult, the Malphite ult is just, you can't fight that.
Too much brawling coming from Grand Valley. They're just able to get in these melee team fights and just brawl it out, lifesteal it out. There's just not enough tankiness on the side of Davenport. And this, I mean, this is it. This is game 3. They're hitting the Nexus, Toria, sending these rockets in. This is it. Game 3 goes to Grand Valley.
Insane. That was,
Quick match.
very quick. Just split-second ults, split-second fight decisions.
Yep.
While at the same time picking their fights.
Yes. I mean, look at this damage coming from Stepfather, too. We're seeing it here. 33,000 from Silas. Even though that was a different pick for Stepfather, still able to get into those fights.
Yes.
Still able to brawl. And with Silas, when you're brawling and you have that lifesteal, it can be hard to manage. Definitely a good pick for Grand Valley. I mean, that was their pocket pick. They really, they really showed up.
Well, all right, yeah. Congratulations to Grand Valley for moving on to the next part of the bracket.
They're moving on to the semifinals. They'll be playing versus Purdue Northwest. So,
all right.
Very interesting. So we're just kind of wrapping up here. Then we're going to have kind of a bit of a break here. I'm not sure if we'll be back to cast these matches. We'll see. But either way, the event's still going on. Be sure to tune in. This is some very interesting League of Legends gameplay here at GLIAC. All the schools are competing. We love it. Thanks for watching. We're going on break.
My experience here has been great. I have a very strong connection to other students. Everyone makes an effort to help each other.
I'm getting the opportunity to meet people, getting the opportunity to build relationships, not only with faculty, but also with students. The small class sizes at P&W allow a lot of collaboration. We see people forming study groups all the time.
Being involved is the #1 thing I'm always going to advocate to other students. A lot of it is perspective and hearing other people's opinions. You all are different, but each one is bringing something to the table.
One of the most important things, I think, is being able to build a relationship with your professors. Almost every single professor I've had, I'm on a first-name basis.
I have been able to go to them for advice and actually know that they're supporting me and on my side and want the best for me.
By building that relationship with faculty, I was able to get involved with research, which was really important for my career path. You get to see all of the practical applications of the things that you're learning. It's one thing to read about a procedure or a method or an idea in a book versus actually going into the lab and physically doing it and seeing the results of it.
The education that we're earning is active learning, so it prepares us to do the job that we're going to do when we graduate. I feel that I will carry forward the memories that I had while at PNW. I'll remember the feeling of being here, the feeling that I was a part of a family.
I'm part of something. I'm a part of something bigger. I'm a part of Purdue Northwest.
Somebody once said life moves pretty fast, and that's exactly how we like it. First day, first year, you're diving in, head first. Don't just find yourself, make yourself. Want to build something? Great. Learn to melt metal with fire. Start businesses, build bridges, raise a whole city. Future in fighting crime? Want to save lives? Care for eyes? Do it all here. And here too, side by side with the pros. But you've got to go forward fast. Why? No time to explain. Okay, fine. We'll explain. Because today is now, and tomorrow is soon. And to get ahead of the game, you got to get ahead of your time. See this guy? That's Woodbridge Ferris. He founded this place with purpose to help everyone move forward. Big rap